Well, it's live now. You got it.
It's live, baby.
So
Hey, Martin,
let's have a little nom-nom to start.
I never realised you got a very similar look to Danny Elfman. Does anyone mention that to you?
Danny Osmond?
No, Elfman. Danny Elfman.
The composer.
Yeah.
Who?
That I've not heard.
No?
Martin?
No, not that one. I'll tell you what, back in the day, man, my hair was super, super curly and much, much darker. And all I ever used to hear was Goldblum. But those days are long gone.
Jeff?
No, I don't like Goldblum.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
Days of past.
Jurassic World movie.
Gabe Kaplan. That's the one I get all the time. Danny, I thought you said Donny Osmond, and I was like, man, that's fucking new.
No, not Donny Osmond. No.
Who the? Hold on. Somebody's got to get on Facebook because there's already two people watching this shit. Who the fuck's watching this shit?
Hey, I told you, man. We'd how to see
Who the fuck's up at midnight? Who the fuck's up at midnight Eastern time watching this shit?
Well, I thought David Alexander was coming on because I had some questions.
Well, we just listen. Let's just say this before I get yelled at.
That's the good
this
stuff,
is not
Mac.
planned. We were just shooting the shit, Martin, and then all of a sudden somebody accidentally hit the live button. Martin. Oh, by the way, everybody,
I'm the center square. I'm in charge.
It's an old tradition. We forgot. It is Martin Sarr's birthday today, so can everybody please wish Martin Sarr happy birthday?
Happy birthday,
Martin.
4,000 years old today. Happy birthday, Martin. We really don't even know when his real birthday is.
I mean, right. This guy doesn't look a day over 30.
I'm telling you, I think we told him happy birthday every day except for his actual birthday. I think every time he's got happy birthday. Who the hell's watching? There's 3 people watching.
It's Sanchez.
I'll bet you it is Sanchez. He's like, those fuckers, I'm going to bed. Watch them.
They don't want me in the
anything
group.
bad about me.
I was putting my daughter to bed. I'm reading the messages from Zish. She's like, I can't get in. This feed sucks. Like, fuck this. I'm going to bed. Like, he's like,
hey, Johnny. Johnny.
Yeah.
How are you doing the Google Voice for the messages?
Oh, what in my car?
Yeah.
It's you know what? The lady at the dealership, I can't lie. I would like to take complete credit for that. She programmed everything for me because I suck at that stuff. And now I can tell it, literally speak to the car and tell it to pull up, our chats, or it'll notify me, and I'll just tell it, read it back to me, and the lady's voice reads it back to me in the car. And it's hilarious hearing her read it back because of the shit that you guys say. And it's like, Lou said something like, so-and-so told so-and-so to go F himself. And she said, so-and-so told so-and-so to go F himself. I had to pull over one time. I was laughing so hard.
Wait a minute, no secrets.
Right, I honestly don't know. I could look at my manual. She told me I could check the manual to see how all that works. But she did. I mean, she hooked it. Everything is touch screen and all. It's a really nice car.
I was gonna say that's got to be
shit that I never had before.
I'm watching it on Facebook, and the best part is seeing when Johnny's talking, seeing the captions come up. I have closed captions on, so I can see all the shit that he's saying in closed caption, and
really,
pretty funny you got to turn closed caption on when you're watching the video.
So it probably has a lot of ums in it. Right.
Yeah. So put the chat. So let's just say this because I want this to be very clear. This was not planned. This was just Rich said, "Let's get together. I want to take a dump," and everyone's like, "All right, well, we'll all get together and watch, whatever." Take his dump, and then somebody accidentally hit the live button. So I think that's Sanchez going in and out.
$6 million man stuff you were going to show us, Lou.
What's that?
You had a lot of $6 million man stuff you wanted to show us.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hey, Danny.
First, we have to have some nom-nom.
Danny, just so you know, Rich is trying to make his head blend in with his mask on the back wall. So it looks like there's just a whole totem of him up there.
Rich, can you go up a little bit?
Is that like when E.T. That's when E.T. was hiding in all the fluffy toys?
Yeah.
So, anybody get anything new?
I got
a lot of new stuff. I think I showed all you guys my new stuff though.
Which was that?
No, put your new stuff up. We haven't seen it. What is that, Rich? Is that a
Darkon?
No, I.
Tell them the story.
What was that?
Tell them the
Hold on a
story.
second. I'm gonna make you bigger. Hang on, I'll make you bigger.
That's Super Joe.
I got a special way to do it. All right, what is
Look
that?
at
Oh, I
that.
thought that was Rom the Space Knight.
No, it's Darkon Super Joe.
Who's Darkon? Oh, Super Joe.
Super Joe.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
an 80s costume or 70s costume?
70.
That's the 70s.
Oh, I didn't realize they had Super Joe in the 70s. I'm not a
Yeah, Super Joe, 70, 77, 78, right? Somewhere around there. They didn't last long though.
You guys are some Super Joe understanding motherfuckers. You guys.
So I was bidding.
Well,
I was bidding
Because
on
I couldn't
Baron
afford the
Karza-
stuff.
Johnny, listen to this. Listen to this story, Johnny.
I was bidding on a Baron Karza the other night, a Ben Cooper Baron Karza costume, and I lost out by $3 on it. So I had already dropped off on Darkon because he was way over my budget. But I was so pissed off that I just went in and I'm like, I'm just tossing in a bid to make that guy getting Darkon have to pay out the ass.
Right.
And I won the fucking thing.
Well, Rich won't pay the mortgage next month. I hate when that shit happens. I love when you.
I bought it out of bitterness.
Yeah.
That's good. But now you
That can
learned your
happen.
lesson. Now you got your Darkon costume, and you know what? One day it'll probably be triple what you paid for it.
Well, if
Good
those Super
investment.
Joes take off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Rich is hoping that one day is in about 60 days.
exactly.
we need to eat this week, Rich. I have to sell my Darkon costume for half price.
Nobody even know. None of you guys even knew who's that. Rom, the Space Knight.
Is this considered just lounging around? Can somebody show us the new stuff coming out? I'd like to see. Does anybody wait, Max? You have them, right? Because I know Johnny's not taking his off the card. Max, do you have any? There you go. Hold on. Let me make Johnny bigger because he's putting some stuff up. Hang on. Wait a minute.
Mine came the
All
other
right,
day.
Johnny, get that shit in the camera. So, Johnny, is this the 7-inch figure? Or is this the 8-inch figure?
This is a 7-inch figure.
7-inch figure.
Well, it's really like 6.5.
Yeah, I want to see if Max can pull that body and do it. Well, I'm afraid to ask Max to do any test with it, flexibility, because I don't want to see it break. That's a nice looking figure, Johnny.
It's a great figure. The
nice
problem
figure.
is that we weren't informed that these figures were going to be 6.5 inches tall.
Are they 6.5? I thought they were 7.
They're not 7, man.
They're 6.5.
They're somewhere around 6.5. They're close to 7, but they're still in the 6.5, 6 3/4 range.
Right,
They're tiny.
Didn't Dan Samilla do a thing with a Lion Rock figure? I didn't see the comparison. I think he put it in there and I missed it. But
Yeah, they're tiny. Now everybody's doing comparisons on Mego and other pages and ambassadors.
okay, Johnny, you can say the other.
Everybody
pages.
is
It's all
getting pissed off. Yeah.
Well, you know what you could do? Just put some shoe lifts in the boots.
Somebody suggested that. Right, but look what we got
Shoe
to
lifts
do.
in the boots.
I mean, look what it. You shouldn't have to do that stuff, though.
Well, so
that money was paid up front, man.
wait, so that's the thing. So wait a minute though. Did they say they were going to be 8 inches, or we assumed they were going to be 8 inches?
No, they said 8 inches. This got 8 inches on the card.
Well, it's all right. Well, it's 8 inches when you put it in the bubble. You got to include the whole bubble, Johnny. You gotta measure the bubble
in
from
that
top to
case,
bottom.
mine is 7.5 inches, Dan, because it's got a little lift in the card.
Oh, I mean, in all honesty, here's the only thing I think, because I didn't buy any. Because one, I can't do that weekly thing. We're trying to do stuff in. But I think it's nice to have a better body. Like if you're going to design a better body, I think that's nice. It's a shame it's shorter. But I think that the big thing, more than anything else, like Johnny, you don't take yours off the card, so yours are going to be fine forever.
Right.
But like people that open, like I was watching Art Baltazar open, was it the mutant leader from the Planet of the Apes thing? And he literally he went to bend the arm and the arm just snapped.
No.
Yeah, it snapped. And like the right arm, he's like, well, I'm just going to put on another body. Max has got the thing. Because I'm going to put on another body anyway, which is fine. But like, it's a shame it snapped. Max, are you going to actually do a measurement?
We're going to get the truth.
All
We're going to get the truth tonight.
All right. I'm throwing you up on the big screen, Max.
Going to get the truth tonight.
Is Max muted? Hold on. Is he muted? Oh, hold on. Max, do it again. Say it again.
Okay, no, it says that I'm muted.
Okay, go ahead. You're unmuted. Go ahead. Let's see what you got. Do
Am
the
I
real
good?
test. This is the
You're good.
proof in the
Can you
pudding,
hear me
right?
now?
here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell you, this is a legitimate Stanley 16-foot.
Is that from the Dollar Tree?
No, this is
You
not from
got
the Dollar
Stanley
Tree.
with 2 L's in it.
That's
No,
Home
this is
Depot.
now this is a Lowe's. Yeah,
Oh,
so
Lowe's
it's,
is legit. The L in Lowe's
Yeah.
stands for legit. Okay.
all right. Now this
They're gonna
is
say, they're gonna say Max. They're gonna say Max. Man, they're gonna say he cheated on the measuring tape because he cut it a little bit shorter. He
They
took an
can-
eighth
they
of an
can-
inch off every inch.
and when they say that, I'll tell them they can suck every bit of my 4-inch dick. All right, how about that?
All right.
All right.
That's the figure.
All right, here's the figure. Okay, I took this. This is the one I took off the card on my live.
How many
When
did
I
you
did
buy,
my-
Max? How many of these did you buy?
4.
4. Very good, Max. Can you show us also 3 and then 2? We'd like to make sure you know. Don't break it. Okay, there we go. There's 3. Okay, so we know Max is legit. He's not crazy.
All right. So here he is. Now this is after what I did is I took the limey green outfit off of him, and I took the DM bow off, and I replaced the bow and the quiver now and the pants.
Where'd you get the bow and the
Okay.
quiver from? Is it FTC?
Classic TV Toys, yeah.
Okay, so you got FTC bow and so is there a real difference between that and the Doc Migo stuff that was on there? Is it heavily?
Yeah,
different?
the one that you get. I don't know if you can how well you can see this, but this one, and I'd have to go and grab the other one out of the bag. But see, this one's got a little bit of ridge, and it doesn't have all that made in China stuff written on it. So
This is the
I don't
FTC
know.
one or Classic TV Toys one.
This is the classic TV Toys, which would be the FTC one.
Okay.
Okay, because when I ordered from Classic TV Toys, package says coming from FTC.
Right.
Okay, so this one just doesn't. This one's got a little bit more. It's got this like ridge, and it's not the flat, and doesn't have the made in China, the DM that I posted earlier. Now this one, I also replaced the quiver on this one, and I put him in these brown pants, and took off the limey green.
Are those
All
the
right.
boots he came with?
Yeah, these are the boots that come
Are
with
his
it.
feet
Okay,
flat
that's
in the
important.
boots, or do you have them up on his tippy toes in the boots? 'Cause sometimes the
Yeah.
feet don't go in, and they kind of like
Now
go.
these are.
He's
Now these
flat?
are. Yeah, these
Oh,
are.
flat.
I didn't put any elevator shoes on them or nothing like
Now,
that.
wait a
right?
minute. Put the boots on because the boots at least a 16th of an inch.
That,
Oh,
You
yeah,
gotta
that's
get
true.
everything, Max. You got to get everything.
do
You can't be cheating
We'll do
and beating.
Hey, we don't want to rip them off of nothing, right?
That's right.
Right. We
We'll-
want
we'll
the truth,
stick
damn it.
This is a real thing, and this is unplanned, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Max Overnighter exclusive, unplanned, on the spot, on the fly.
Okay,
Like
here he is.
Geraldo.
All right. Now I'm a,
All right,
and
Max.
now I'm gonna take my
In all fairness, you got to measure him with the hat also afterwards,
all right.
because he is part of the figure.
You got a flat surface you can set him down on?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I gotta
You
try
have
to.
to
I got
adjust
my,
We just have to see that. Oh yeah, we want to make sure they're going to say it's not touching the floor. We have
Hey,
to go
right.
inside and trust Max. He's going to be touching the desk.
all right, hold on here. I got to
This
try to
is the
figure
world
this out.
exclusive right here, guys.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please hold on to your seats. Strap your seatbelts on. This is an exclusive. We don't want anybody to fall out of their chair.
It's like trying to figure out that owl. How much? How
We
many?
just got a crotch shot.
Center.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was,
I
that
got
was
a-
a
6-year-old
that
pop.
was a Migo crotch shot, Max. That's right. Just
Yeah.
put them flat and then bring the measuring tape from bottom up.
Yeah, I mean, the way I was gonna do it was this way, so
Yeah.
you could see in the air.
Okay.
How do I?
No,
I'm
see,
doing
that's
that.
just it, though. You have to, yeah,
You got to flatten him because he looks like he's 8.5 inches from there.
exactly. That's why I said get him down on the
He looks
ground.
taller. What do you got? A Super Joe body on him.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna do something different here.
Where's Mrs. Overnighter to come help? Mrs.
All right, hold
Overnighter
on.
may have to approach. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. We're having a little bit of
There we go.
turbulence. Hang on. We're going sideways.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to switch view
And
here.
this is overnight under the front desk. Can Mrs. Overnighter come to the front desk, please?
Now look, with the hood, I'm seeing 8 inches. With the hood.
Yeah, you take the hood up though.
Oh, that's
You
not
gotta
the
take
hood. That hood didn't come with it, right?
Yeah, the hood did come with it.
Oh, that is the hood? Okay.
Yeah, but you can't. We're looking at just the body.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Because
start counting
the bodies
hoods
were
and-
hyped. The bodies were hyped as the new generation, the next generation of bodies
Yeah,
that was going to
that's
make the other
definitely
ones
shorter.
obsolete.
That's definitely
Can,
shorter.
can you see that okay?
Yes. Now, Max, are his leg, in all fairness, are his legs straight or do you have bent knees?
No, he's
Okay, we're just checking all things. Max is the crotch in full pelvic position.
full pelvic. Yeah, so
Okay, all right.
we got a probably about a 7.5 to 7.25 inch.
There you go. Okay.
So
Don't brag,
that's
Max.
where-
That's not that big. I got something else for you there, but
yeah, here you go. I mean,
okay, so
Yeah.
Max, do you have any regular old-fashioned Migos hanging around or FTC?
I do. I
Why
do.
don't we put it next to them and see what it looks like? Like, this is live, ladies and gentlemen. For
This
those
is
of you
live.
who are saying that this is a magic trick, you are incorrect.
All right, I'll tell you what. You guys run the hemorrhoid commercial. I'll be right back.
Oh, where's Sanchez, man? You should be doing the hemorrhoid commercial. This
Jesus.
episode of Migo Like brought to you by Preparation H. You get an
I think
8-inch tube, not a 7.25-inch tube.
Is that
Low, low
how
price.
it's going to be our thing? Because we're all old guys. I mean, all the commercials are going to be old people stuff.
We could have done Depends, but we weren't that old. So we're going to
With the what's that? The AARP commercials and the X-Lax stuff.
It's the,
The
You set up
Depends and
your
stuff like
AARP.
that. I mean, is that what it's come to now?
Are any of these fuckers on here in a 55 and over community?
Someone abducted Rich.
Oh, shit.
Rich,
All right.
Rich is taking another dump. I'm telling you. All right, Max, you ready? Hold on, I'm going to zoom you up again.
Now that's the one
Hey,
from
Max,
the
what do we have
1970s.
here?
That's
All
the
right.
original.
This is a type 1. You can see.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay, now, like I said, the one thing that I kind of was disappointed with the new one is that he didn't have green hands, but neither does the type 1. The type 2 does have green hands.
No.
All right.
Oh, that's a little something there. Okay,
No,
so
there's
maybe they
type
were
ones
going
with green
classic.
hand. Rich,
Did it?
Max,
Yeah.
Max. There's type 1s with green hands.
Well, this is probably a Frankenstein then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
But
Max,
this is in
Max,
fact.
can you hold the crotch closer to the camera? We like to see the original Migo bulge versus the new Migo bulge.
There you go.
Wow, he's got a camel toe and a half.
This guy's packing. All right.
That guy's got some camel toe.
That
Wow,
guy's got a mangina.
he has a mangina. That's excellent. Danny
There
Gates
you go.
pulls up the mangina.
All right.
Max, you see
Now-
that stuff in that thing? All right.
You want me to pull his pants off? What do you want? All right.
Is he all the little bumpies on the legs? Like he's
It's
got-
obvious right there.
Wow. All right,
Yeah,
hold on,
that's
a second, Max.
There's no
Make sure
no
they're-
competition.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Now, Max,
I mean,
are you sure those feet are together? We got to be fair. Are you sure those
Okay.
feet are together? Okay, no. And
Feet
then when
together?
they go back to back.
feet together.
Okay. I do
All
like.
right.
I have to say something. The new boots are cool because those are what, FTC style or something else. But I do like the
Yeah.
old AJ style boots better, just because it's more vintage in my opinion. That's all. But that's just my opinion. That don't matter shit. All right, Max, go a
Okay.
little bit to your right. All right, right there. Okay, that's all right. That's like dad and son.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like dad and son.
Yeah, Lou,
That's
they
a
look like
decent difference.
lion rocks.
They kind of do.
Somebody
with
else
a
said that,
fatter
too.
body.
Yeah.
they're
I
kind of a
think
fatter
Dan
lion.
Samillo did a comparison, and the Lion Rocks was still a fraction smaller.
Yeah. This
Can you define a fraction, Daniel Gates?
Sorry?
Can you define a fraction?
If I can find my
if
green
I said-
lantern, green arrow.
If I said a bee stick smaller, is that better?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was waiting to hear. A kangaroo cube shorter.
Yeah.
so you can clearly see here
Okay.
in a back-to-back. Now I have these on the
On the flat.
sitting flat.
And the
back
old
to-
one doesn't have the toes pointing up. He's flat-footed. Because sometimes the
Flat-footed.
toes like to come up. Okay. Don't split the boots trying to do it. Okay.
Here you go.
So are the heads the same size, guys? Are the heads the same size, or are they shrunk a little bit, or they're exactly
smaller, way
Yeah,
smaller.
Lou, they're
I don't know,
smaller.
here's
Wow.
yeah.
But then why are people saying the head's too big? Like, is the head still too big, even though it's smaller?
Yeah, the GI
No.
Joe heads were a little bigger.
Oh, the
No,
G.I.
I
Joe?
think-
Yeah, but didn't they have like a mask on and shit, the helmet and stuff? Like the Snake Eyes and stuff had like a helmet on them.
Yeah,
No,
I would
I
think
think
I
that's
think
kind of what gave it that bigger look.
See, I think proportionately, this is a good figure.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
He's not bad.
proportionally
Actually, he's not
itself,
bad. Yeah.
on its own, at if you're not looking at comparing it to the 8-inch, I mean, this isn't here. Here, let me lay him down.
It is when I'm looking at that new figure, and again, this is not the knock them, but on that new figure, does it look like to you guys like the neck's kind of short or not there, or is it just because he has the hood on? Is it because he has
yeah.
the
I
hood?
think it's
On the new ones, Lou,
Yeah.
No,
it's the difference between the neck and the neck plug.
So
No,
that's
he's-
a pop-on head. Is that a pop-on?
Yeah, those
head?
are pop-ons.
I mean, it's okay. It looks a little short to me, but that's fine. I mean, that's
No, he actually, like I said, himself
You
by,
like it.
by himself compared to himself
okay.
is an okay looking figure.
yeah.
How
You
the
know?
fuck did they not white the eyes out? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah,
Oh, because they painted the pupils. Well, the old one
What
had the
the
pupils
fuck?
painted too, didn't it, Martin?
the old one has pupils too.
Oh yeah, I know that, but it's like if you're supposed to, I mean, when they redid the Flash, right? When they did their Flash figure, he's got white eyes. Robin has white eyes, if I'm not mistaken, right? Those new ones they put out.
Yeah.
How the fuck do they this Green Arrow and it's supposed to look like, a DC accurate Green Arrow, and I just don't get that. I just don't get that.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the small shit that drives me crazy.
So
yeah, I mean, on its own,
There you
quite
go.
honestly, and I think I said this, in my review video. Yeah, see, there you go. That's the Robin that came out.
That's nice. That's what I think. That would have been a nicer touch. It's probably also less because you just put white in there. You don't have to put the pupil on. We don't get
Yeah.
those
Right.
crazy ones that look like looks like a chameleon where one eye's going left and one eye's going up or whatever.
Yeah, I got pretty fortunate in mine because mine actually, he's pretty spot on. I
He
mean,
looks good.
I don't have a problem with with that, and as he stands by himself, he's okay. But yeah, is he a little bit smaller?
You did a good review on that, Max. When you did your review when you first got him, you did a good review and you didn't say one bad thing about him. Nothing.
No, I
And
would
the
have.
thing, it
I
looks
would
like a
have
pretty
been.
decent figure, honestly. But
Yeah, see, for me, I think that he should have had the green hands, and okay, here you go. Here he is in the box, and
is Rich eating Doritos? Rich, are you eating?
No, I'm going through a box looking for something.
No. So Max,
as you can, I don't know if you can see, but the belt is on upside down.
Yeah, I
that's
saw it.
just
I
because
noticed that.
somebody doesn't know the English language. I'm guessing because why would you put a G upside down?
Yeah, I mean the
And
belt is
they're all
upside
like
down,
that, apparently, that everybody got.
Right.
and overall, like I said, he's not a bad looking figure.
Wait,
This one,
hold on a
though,
second. Hold on a second. I want to ask you a question. The belt being upside down, like I'm looking at the card and I see that G. Does it look like that G on the card?
No,
On the card?
no,
Oh,
it
doesn't
looks like the G for the Green Bay Packers.
Okay,
yes.
got it. Okay. I got
Yeah,
it.
it's not the G like this.
The arrow. It's not the
No.
arrow. Okay.
No, he's a Green Bay Packer fan. You got that
Right.
right.
That'd be a nice touch if you made the belt look like that. I mean, I don't read the comics, so I don't know enough. But
Well, and the thing is that the prototype, he had the prototype had a different style belt,
Right.
and it had a different G on it, and it was
it a
nicer
sticker?
looking.
Was it a sticker or was it molded or was it painted?
I think it looked like it was. I mean, the whole belt in itself, the whole buckle itself was different. Yeah, I think it was an oval. You'd have to
Well,
look. I'd have to look.
That's why everybody was so upset.
And the hands were green on the prototype. Is that? Oh, so there's
Yeah.
markings and stuff.
Yeah.
Let me bring Martin up for a second because Martin.
That's
Martin's
the
setting it up.
FTC one, right? I got the FTC one.
Let's open that
No,
up.
that's the Matty. That's the retro action.
Oh,
Which
that's right. I got that one too.
The
Yeah.
one on the left, Martin, or the one on the right?
That one right there.
So that's the DC one that was it Diamond did those or somebody or
He's from 2010.
Did you change the body?
Yeah, I think I put a
Yeah. Because
you put a little Rascal's body on it.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's this is the ones that Mattel put out that the retro actions that were at Toys R Us. This was
Okay.
the one you had to buy him through Matty Collector. Because
So wait a minute, hold on. While you're doing that, give me 1 second, because now you got me thinking about something. Hang on. 1 second. If I can find
that's the best Green Arrow to me. And then Max, there's my Type 1. See, he's got one green hand.
Yeah, see, I have this one is probably like I said, well, I mean, as you can see, mine, the uniform, this one's all pretty beat up. I got I have
mine's
actually
chewed to shit.
Hold on,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
I
Hold on.
bought this one because he came with an
Bring it
original
down.
box.
okay. Yeah. I got let me grab the
There. This Green Arrow has red gloves. Did Green Arrow ever have red gloves? Is that ever possible? And no
Red.
beard, no goatee?
Yeah, he had red gloves back in the Silver Age, I believe.
Yeah, that's
This
the
is from, when was this from? It's like
the Jack
2000
Kirby era.
1999. This came out with the bendable fingers only.
So that's Hasbro, Lou. That's the 9-inch
that's
Hasbro from
Yeah,
Target.
that's not Mego.
Yeah, I love that one. That's awesome.
I got all these things, and they come with a stand too. They got a nice little DC stand in there they can clip onto.
Oh, yeah,
So
I
I
got
think
that one too. Yeah, that is a nice one.
I
Yeah.
got all these. I love them.
Yeah.
I got to do some stuff on those because I forgot about those. But
This is
the cool thing with them is the arrow goes in the bow. You can literally shoot the arrow. Except the thing that's corny is I think they made the arrow like a Nerf, like a plastic, looks like a Nerf shape or something.
Wouldn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, you don't want to shoot your eye out. With your
Right.
red dot or BB gun.
Right.
So that was another line like Famous Covers where someone in the company wanted to try and bring the Mego format back.
Well, but
And-
Martin, didn't the Famous Covers come and then those things started up and they were supposed to be like the next, like Famous Covers were supposed to be the next Migos, but they made them look almost exactly like the comics, so they were exaggerated. And these came out the DC and they did like the Green Lantern, which I love, Green Arrow. I think they did Batman, Superman, a couple other figures, Joker and stuff, but they never really
Yeah,
did.
and then they flipped it at the very end because Total Justice was the main toy line. So they tried to make it. They did a Martian Manhunter, I think, and they changed the scale and everything, and
So bad, yeah.
they flipped that direction.
Okay. So who's got what? Johnny, what do you got in your hand there?
I got the
Let me zoom you
what's
up.
this? The retro DC retro.
So this is the one that Martin was showing too? Is this
Yeah.
Now is
But
this one of
he
the ones
corrected.
that, go ahead.
Yeah, Martin corrected the legs though. I mean, this is on the very very poor body. So I don't blame you, Martin, for changing out the body on this because
Is that a regular Mego style bow on there? Or is it oh no, it's got an arrow in it. Is that right?
yeah, it's got like a glove,
Okay.
like a little.
That's not
boxing
like a
glove.
Doc Mego bow or something.
It's a trick arrow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
trick
the
arrow.
belt upside down?
No, it's not. It's right side up.
So that's an 8-inch action figure.
Yes, this is.
And that's like a Mego, but what's that body style like if it's not like is it Mego basically? From
Danny,
No,
do you know what that body is in there?
what's that?
The
Yeah,
retro
that's
action.
one. That's one of those. That's one of those Indian type bodies.
It's a fucking Big Jim scaled down.
Yeah, yeah.
Say what?
What,
Who
this
needs a
one right
big
here?
damn scale down?
Yeah, the retro action bodies.
Bring that
Mattel
up.
wouldn't let them use Mego bodies, so they
Right.
had to use Big Jim bodies scaled down
Oh,
Jim.
why wouldn't they let
Yep.
them use Mego bodies?
because they own the Big Jim bodies.
Oh, so is it a 9-inch figure?
No, it's 8-inch, but it's
No, it's 8 inch.
it's a Big
But
Jim
it's
scale.
really
to 8.
it.
It's
So if you
shrunk
saw
down.
that
Yeah.
next to a Mego, is it the same size?
Yeah, I got parts somewhere around here. I'll find them.
So
That's
wait a minute.
crazy.
Now you're making me ask questions. So if that's an
Yeah,
8-inch
because they used
figure,
they were the ones that they used for the like the early Mattel Ken dolls. So the Ken ones, they just reduce them down to that.
But is that's the same size as Amigo?
Yeah.
Because somebody had posted somewhere in a group that original Migos were only 7 3/4 inches, and I think that was only Hulk and the Thing because they were a little.
I think that was only Hulk and the Thing.
Yeah, because that looks like that. I mean, from sight, you know, can't really tell. That looks like that'd be about Amigo size. But if it's big,
see those arms on that figure there that Johnny's holding, the Green Arrow, you can actually use those if you wanted to fix a big Jim.
Oh, really? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Johnny, can you put that next to that again? Can we see that again? Can you go back just a little bit? Is that foot?
Oh, wow.
Can you go foot to foot on those? I'm just curious.
That
Right.
You can just tell that's different.
But
you can just tell that's different.
Yeah, that one on the left looks like the other one could sit inside of it. Like it looks like it's like the one on the left. Sorry, the one on your right, Johnny. The Green Arrow, actually, our left. That one looks much bigger. It's like me being 5'9", standing next to somebody 6'4". That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Because
you know what I mean,
I think that's what the guy said. It's on that big Jim husky type body.
It's like David and Goliath.
Right. I mean, look at the thighs on this guy. This guy like a football player.
Yeah, he's ready to kick some ass.
Yeah, that looks like sidekick. You know, that Black Adam looks like he's sidekick size.
Right.
Now, how are the posabilities on these? I know, Johnny, you didn't take them out, but Danny, they pose like a big Jim, so the arms go all over.
Yeah, they pose quite well.
They do. Okay.
Yeah, they pose quite well.
Ape.
Well, I'm actually, and honestly, looking at them, like I was surprised because Max, you found it, right? You found that the bow had the DM on it, or Samilo, or somebody found that the DM. Yep. And we were showing that, and then I pulled that old Lord of the Rings Legolas figure, and that had a DM on it. So it's not like this is a new thing. That Legolas figure is from 2019 or 2020, I think. So that's going back in time. So I'm wondering how many other figures are, you know.
Yeah, here's the bow that came with the Green Arrow. Right there's the DM right on it.
Which is fine, but you know, I know somebody said, "Well, what's the big deal?" Because they're reproducing and stuff. But like, if you're buying stuff, especially for the guys that bought tops, right? In all reality, you're supposedly paying a premium for it. You're paying premium shipping, and you can't blame Mego if Tops didn't ship it premium, right? If they chose the cheapest FedEx, whatever it is, through the post office, that's on them. But like, it's a little disheartening when you think you're getting like this exclusive figure. I think that's new, but it's supposed to be retro. And then they throw in other parts. Like, all right, so what? It's a Doc Mego bow, big deal. So he makes the bow, great. But it's kind of like, well, if I went out, somebody said, like, if I went out and bought a Planet of the Apes figure and somebody took, you know, new Mego parts and put it on and said it's original, it's not really original, right? But I mean, I guess for them that is original because their original part was a Doc Mego bow. It's just, I think it's a little disheartening that you don't find that out till later. Oh, who's showing bodies? Who's showing naked money,
isn't it?
Who's showing naked bodies?
So that's
put them wider, Martin. Put them a little closer together.
So hold on. So that one there that's the Mattel Retro Action.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then don't get excited, Martin. We know they're naked.
That's Type S.
Okay.
That's the original Type S.
Martin, what do you
now? Which one of the Type S comes on? Is that
those are
Castaway Toys?
Yeah. This is the period, right at the end of Castaway, and then that is the remnants of a Zika.
The Zika body
or Zika?
Zika.
I've been saying it wrong all these years.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, Zika's the Buck Rogers.
Yeah, I got the Buck Rogers figures, and they're fantastic. Those things are so detailed; they're phenomenal. If you don't own them, Johnny, you need to get yourself a set. You will.
That got bought by.
I bought mine from Lonnie Fisher.
Yeah, Diamond bought the Zika bodies, and then they just shelved them.
Really?
I thought.
Yeah.
Now, which ones did Figures Toy Company buy?
They bought
the Type S, the David Lee bodies.
Yeah, they bought Type S.
They bought the Type S, but I don't think are they starting to ship stuff on Type S now? Because they probably getting rid of their old stock of the old bodies.
They just started switching everything over.
They did. Okay. I mean, I think. Listen, for people to tell me how much they cost, I found out tonight how much an FTC costs, which I didn't realize how much they cost. The Type S body is perfect because that's pretty much that was in line about where you're paying for some of the stuff for the plastic zombie toy stuff for the Castaway. So, and I know they have their own licenses to fulfill and so on in there, but I mean, those are good bodies to put on. The stuff they had before, I mean, I saw all kinds of complaints that they were crappy or whatever. Leave them in the package, don't take them out, and you'll be fine.
That shit, yeah.
Yeah, I have the 18-inch FTC figures, which I love because it's like a giant-ass Mego, right? Giant. But I opened one up to take a look inside. Hang on, take a breath, Johnny, don't worry. And what happened was the thing, like, I mean, it literally, like, is barely held together. It's you could never give that. That's collectible only. Put it in the box and leave it there. You know, it's like getting that giant bottle of champagne or wine in a 6-foot bottle and you never open the damn thing. You know what I mean? It's just you don't touch it.
At that scale, Lou, there's no way banded joints would work.
No, it's bad. As a matter of fact, like the arms, from what I remember, like it's not one piece where you snap the hand in. It's like two parts. And they put them together. I don't know if they're glued.
Yeah, I mean, Danny, those bands would be like fucking something you would tie something down to the roof of your car with.
Yeah. Well, we have to do that with Sanchez every once in a while.
On those big ones, they're about 16-inch, aren't they? The big ones.
You want to see one? What are you using at that point? A bungee cord?
Yeah.
I'll show you.
The 12-inch. You can buy the new restring kit, and it's a bungee cord basically.
That's
yeah. Yeah.
Well, who did this silly shit here with these? Was this a Figures Toy Company thing?
That looks to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the early ones that FTC did, you could tell because there's weight in them, and they're a really they're a hydro or hyped skin color. It's not. It's more than just flesh color. It's almost pink.
Right.
And they were really good bodies. Like they were durable, flexible.
I think those were, if I remember right, I think those. Did David and Jason still have something to do with that initial run?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they weren't from China. They were from somewhere else. I think they were from India or Sri Lanka or some weird place.
Australia.
They weren't from China.
Australia. What is that? You guys say? Oz. What do you guys say?
This was made in China. Yeah, this one's made in China. It's got the hooks and bands.
Yeah.
And it's got this weird where the thing where you like your shoes, the shoes and feet
put the
clip
boots
on.
in there. They just you can pop them right in there.
Yeah, this is I got no use for that. I don't know.
Wait,
that's something I got.
Which one was that? I fell away for a second.
Oh, this one of these kind of bodies where it has the plug, the plug on hand.
I have one of those guys around somewhere.
Yeah,
wait, is that a Mego body?
No, this is I think Figures Toy Company or somebody, but it's.
So there's a version of LJN figures like the SWAT and the Rookies figures that actually they had ones where you could pop the feet and the hands on like that.
Yeah, this is newer. This is newer than that. This is
so it's a recent one.
Yeah, I mean, like if you see the ankle bend here, I mean, it's like the feet snap on, the hands do the same thing. And this is marked made in China.
Oh, there you go.
The bag even says made in China, but it's when I look inside and I look here, I don't know if I can get this on here where you can see it.
Hole the same size as a regular Mego hole?
This hole
is the hole. Can you fit a regular Mego head in there, or is it small?
I think it's smaller. I think you'd have to Dremel that out a little bit to get a regular one of the roto molds in there.
Could I get Brian Sanchez's head in there if I cut it off? Would that work?
Yeah. Just put it on a stick. We'll get it in there.
All right, Martin, what do you have? Are you showing something, Martin? Hang on. I gotta catch up with you guys. What is that? What is that guy doing, Martin?
That is a Charlie Flat. That's a Charlie Flat Uncle Sam, and it is hands down the best body ever made.
Charlie Flatt. So Martin, do a little thing about Charlie Flatt because I don't think everybody knows who Charlie Flatt is. It's
So Charlie Flatt is the real godfather of the Return Amigo. He was doing this back in the 90s. He got coverage in Tomar, and did he get any in one or two others and a little online? And his stuff, his customs, began to start appearing at toy shows. And I used to see him actually. Some guy used to have a few at Chiller Theater back in the day. Everything was sculpted by hand. All the bodies were modified. The heads were, but then the clothes, the actual outfits were made out of like pleather and actual studs. It's unbelievable what that guy did. I mean, he is the real artist of the field.
And Martin, do you remember his customs? He used to sell them between like, what they were like $700-800 average for a figure. He had bendable figures. He would hand carve the bows.
Oh, they're unbelievable.
Green Arrow. It was crazy.
They're unbelievable. Yeah. He what's so funny about what's going on today is back in the late 90s, he actually went to Warner Brothers to sell them at the WB store. And they looked at him and they said, well, no one's going to buy these at this price. And I think he was trying to do like a price point of like $50 or $60.
Right.
And where's the market today? Everywhere the market is today is exactly where he said, 20, 25 years ago.
But people were buying. I remember being, when Martin, we were in that old email list, people were buying these things for like $700-800. I remember the guy that got arrested for the bad cop, will say, he had a closet full. No, he had like shelves full of those. And he's like, you have to buy these things. Unbelievable. The fingers bend, like the fingers could bend individually. Like he made it as close to, human as possible. I mean, he was unreal. And then Johnny, he was at Mego Meet 2019.
He was.
Yeah, he was the real tall guy.
He was the biker.
Guy. He looked
Johnny. He was the biker.
Like the Triple H. Martin was there, and he was at a table with his wife, and he had all the Uncle Sam's, and he was selling them for $20.
No, Lou.
And I bought some parts from him too, which I gave him in May.
Lou, this Uncle Sam was $5. That's all they were.
Oh, I'm sorry, $5. I'm sorry, $5. Yes, you're right.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
$5 a pop.
It was
unbelievable.
He said I have a garage full, but he had originally put those out in like 2000 and because it was before I stopped collecting, Martin. So it was 2005 or 4 or something like that. And that was Be Natural Toys. He saw that, but he also, Martin, you remember the other thing that he did? Do you remember hang on.
He did a Dracula.
Yes, sir, he did. And I'm sure somebody on here who's not on
You got it?
Probably owns one. But he did this. He did that Bela Lugosi Dracula. It's right there.
Yeah, he had one of the first Lugosi licenses too. When the kid broke off from Universal.
And if you open this thing up, I know I'm not taking it out because Johnny will have a heart attack, but it's got a coffin in there. It's got a coffin that looks like it's lined. It's plastic, but it's got a bat in there. It's got like I don't know, what is that? It's like a candelabra with a dragon on it. I mean,
and who is this?
This is
Charlie Flatt.
Charlie Flatt.
He was, let me tell you, he was so famous back, like when 20-some years ago, he was so famous, like you couldn't go anywhere and they didn't know Charlie, which is weird because after he made these figures, I think it was the Uncle Sam was the second one. He made the Dracula and then he made the one that Martin had. I have it in the box, Uncle Sam. Then he like disappeared, right, Martin? He just like.
Well, he got a license to do the Phantom. And he did a prototype of that. And I want to say he was doing Flash Gordon too. And the Phantom was awesome. And you got to remember back in the early 2000s, 2000, 2001, like when DC was doing DC Direct, toy sales were shit.
Yeah.
Things were not good. There was unbelievable product coming out, but the buyers weren't there. And Charlie's timing, he was off and he got out. He sort of disappeared. And is it Greg Turpin? I can't remember who, but I think I could be wrong on that, but there's someone that is tight with them that kept in touch. And Charlie's got a website. I believe it's Flat World, FLATT. And you can see some of the articles. His customs are there. Yeah, his stuff's unbelievable. Johnny, the first time you see it in person,
Yeah.
because all this stuff is boxed. He didn't have carded. I remember walking around Chiller Theater and this dude had these on the table and I just stood there. This was probably right when so we're talking like 98, 99. And I'm staring at this and I'm like, it didn't compute because they looked exactly like Migos,
Right.
but they weren't. They were beyond detailed. And I just, you can't fathom. They were like 150, $200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, I didn't do this on camera, so Johnny wouldn't have a heart attack, but I slid this out of the box. This was inside. It's like a whole thing with Bela Lugosi in it and so on and everything.
Rich,
And
you ever see
trying
that?
to slide it out without Johnny seeing.
Dracula?
But
That's fantastic.
I've seen the Dracula that Lou was showing. Yeah, I have seen that. That thing.
You have it, Rich?
I do not.
You should have it. It is one of the best.
And how much is it going for?
Martin said it best. It's just a phenomenal figure.
Yeah, Charlie's anybody who's buying. I mean, the thing about Charlie too is he predated a lot. When McFarlane was doing statues of Spawn figures and stuff like that, Charlie was saying, "Well, no, you can actually have posability here." And
wow.
So when I look at NECA, when I look at where McFarlane is today, any of that stuff, this all comes from Charlie. This is all coming from
could be posed.
Yeah,
not these, but figures he had made.
Right,
it could be posed. All right, I'll open it, Johnny. Just take a breath. We'll take it
all
out.
right, while you guys are
Max, I got that figure that you were talking about with the hands and the feet from FTC too.
Okay, cool. Hey, just a shout out. I'm over here looking at the Facebook feed. Looks like we got Marcus Aurelius, Michael Gilbert, and Gilbert Rodriguez over there watching us on Facebook. So, hey to those guys.
How you doing, guys?
JP on there. Over here on ours.
Yeah, got JP rocking it there.
Oh, is JP on there too?
These guys hanging out with us.
Must be on the
on
YouTube
Friday
feed.
night, Saturday morning.
Here's that body. Here's that body, Martin.
Stop it. Stop showing us that, Danny Gates.
That's that one
I
there.
see crotch.
Danny, bring it down a little bit. Let me
Bring
see
it
that.
down, man. We don't want to see that Australian.
Okay. No, there you go. But you see the detail in the cars and figures.
Oh, okay.
And
so this is that DC figure that Martin was showing before.
Yeah, these are the early ones from FTC.
Okay.
Right.
Oh God, there it is. Can't really see it, but yeah, you can see the detail on the calf and
how was
like
the
that.
waist? Was the waist wobbly?
No. These are a very, very firm waist, Johnny.
Yeah.
And it's got the pin system in it, rubber bands.
So what color is this thing? Or you just put a head on this? That looks like an Abe Lincoln. Hey,
this is
one-eyed Wonder Cat's here. There he is. Show us the one eye. Show us the one eye. There it is.
This is my custom of Abraham Lincoln. So
okay, I was going to ask it to come like that.
That's nice.
No.
Awesome, Danny.
You did that, Danny? That's fantastic, man.
Yeah, you did a good job.
You did a real good job on that.
That's
I
solid.
can't do that stuff. That's why I'm just a collector.
Danny Gates has some skills.
That's why I'm just a collector.
He's not even American. And look what he did. He's not even
an
American.
artist.
He did an Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Now, where'd you get the top
All I
hat?
can do is kit bash stuff.
This, you know what, Johnny? This I found in a bag of stuff, and I still to this day don't know where I got it from.
That looks like the Penguins hat from the FTC.
I don't. It's really like it's rubber and flexy. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, but it fits perfectly for Abe. So
what I like, Daniel, is you did a nice American figure, a classic, honorable man, and you didn't do some Australian guy that none of us know. That's fantastic.
Right.
No, I've always thought this would be a cool figure to do. So
that is a good figure. That's a great figure.
Yeah. So I've got to get some pants and a bow tie and all that for him. But yeah, it's coming along all right.
Pants are important, Daniel Gates.
Yes, correct.
They are correct. Is there any action figure out there? I'm thinking of that one that these, I think it was called, was it Bob or something? Is there anyone that actually has? It says it's anatomically correct, and it's like an 8 or 12-inch format. Which one is it? Oh, well, they have them all now. But wasn't there one that was called like Gay Bob or something, and it was like advertised anatomically correct?
Hey, Rich, when's Gay Bob?
What happened?
What's going on with your sound, Martin? It sounds like you're talking to me through an old Bell telephone.
Yeah, right. I thought it was just.
Hello?
I'm going, what the hell's going on here?
It's like
Hello?
that scene from It's
Operator?
a Wonderful Life.
Can you please connect me to R75?
Connecting you now.
Plastics.
That's
Go ahead,
fantastic.
Martin. Talk again. That make us all laugh.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but it sounds like you're like on a friggin' shore-to-shore radio or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can write my face. How about that?
Welcome
No,
back
that's
to 1927.
You sound like an old megaphone singer. Like it's like
Like Charlie Brown. What's going on?
Everybody
Oh, my baby.
Johnny's
Oh,
going
my
in there to
darling.
pick up the antique phone so he can talk to you.
right time down.
I'm wondering if that's my
Baby.
case.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, go.
I'm wondering if that's the case of my phone that's muffling the shit out of that. That probably is. Here, hold on. I got one more thing.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn his volume up. I think I can turn him up a little bit. Where's Martin? Hold on.
These are ones that I made from just old Mego parts.
Hold on a second, you ape-loving bastard. Hang on.
Oh, is that ape in a suit?
Well, it's like he's from the Green Lantern Corps.
So, Rich,
Oh, yeah.
explain the process
nice.
of putting together. The body is
The body is a I just took it's just the ape. It's a Green Lantern body. And I took that body and I just took the ape head and put it on the body. And now he's
where'd you
part
get a
of
Green
the-
Lantern? Is it FTC or is it
Oh,
something
it's
else?
Mego.
Mego.
The John Stewart Green Lantern.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Mego didn't make the Green Lantern.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they made the John Stewart.
Oh, the
Green
new
Lantern.
one. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the old one. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
And then so
You
that's
have to clarify to me new Mego, old Mego. I get confused.
Oh, yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
you have an old army of them.
yeah. Well, don't you know the Green Lantern lore, Lou?
No, I watched the
There's a
movie. It was
core of
horrible.
Green Lanterns throughout the galaxy.
So
All
horrible.
over the place. You could put literally anything in a Green Lantern outfit and it's good.
Yep. And then I did.
Can I put a cheese, a grilled cheese, and a with a grilled
Yeah,
cheese and a
absolutely.
Green Lantern outfit? It's good.
He's from grilled cheese land somewhere in
Is that a Frankenstein head?
Yep. With a Green Lantern.
That's classic. Dude, you didn't put a
Nice.
fucking A-high head on there. The
Then I
Bella
did
goes
an Ultraman.
Okay,
Oh,
that one
man.
I'll buy. I'm all right with that. That one's believable.
That
Why
makes
should-
no sense, Rick.
Frankenstein's green.
I
So,
disagree.
Rich, how many Green Lanterns do you have in your army?
Just these guys.
Just these, okay. Now, Rich, do you have any regular Green Lanterns? Like what as is?
I don't have any. I have the DC Direct ones that they did.
Okay.
I've got like the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan as the Spectre. I've got the
What's the big monster? What's the big monster in that Rich? You know, that big sort of gargoyle that's in a suit,
in my
or the
room right
gargoyle
now?
character.
That's
Sorry?
no, that's Rich. Danny, that's just Rich.
Where?
Who's the gargoyle in there? That's me, Danny.
Where is it, Danny? Over this
Is it
way?
in
No,
his
I'm just
room,
wondering,
Dan, or are you just asking him in general?
No, asking in general.
Oh, he's
There's a
talking
big
about the Green
gargoyle
Lantern one
character
that's
in,
like a big
in Green
fucking-
Lantern.
Yeah, it's like a
I know who
big
you're talking about.
Hulkasaurus looking thing.
What's his name, Martin? The big,
Kilowog?
huh?
Kilowog?
Kilowog. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ryan Sanchez?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say-
That's
that'd be good. That'd be good custom to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up the other one. Let me go see if I can find that other thing.
Could use a Hulk body.
Did they do Kilowog in the Ryan Reynolds movie? Did they show him?
They did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
God, that is such a weird ass design. Because
But
he's
yeah,
like,
use a Hulk body. That'd be a cool
Yeah.
custom.
Did you see?
Here's
the,
my
Did you
bastard.
see the DC
Here's my
Direct
bastardization.
animated version of the Green Lantern Corps where they had Sinestro was training Hal Jordan, and they had the whole Green Lantern Corps and everything. That was really good, the animated one.
Oh, Johnny got kicked off?
No,
What happened?
I haven't seen that one.
Johnny's
I
coming
haven't
back
seen that
in.
one.
That's great. It's on HBO Max.
Was it from a few years ago?
3 times. Hang
Well,
on. Johnny's
quite a
in.
few years ago, yeah.
Okay.
How many?
I'll have to check it out. I like that series. I like that.
Now Johnny's here with his brother Ronnie. They're twins. As
And
you can
just
see,
Max.
they like to dress alike.
And let's say hello to Max's beard. Hello,
Wait, so
beard.
this is the only Green Lantern that I own, and
Yeah,
I don't know. I
that's-
like the figures because they were that's
Yeah,
the
my
DC.
screen it looks like you got my beard on. Kind of weird.
That's
It looks like
awesome.
Martin.
Hey, Max, do it
There's
again.
Martin.
All right, Martin,
There's
say it.
Martin.
Now, Max, you talk.
Okay, so
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
That's
there you go.
perfect.
You
So-
damn kids, get off my lawn. That's fucking nice. That's good. That
How
was
come
good.
Rich is?
I'd like to make a shout out to
I can't
Johnny's Tash. Johnny's Tash is looking awesome.
Oh, it's
Ah.
Stash.
Hey, that's just being lazy, Danny. I'm just being lazy.
I'd say keep up the laziness, Johnny. That
Oh.
looks good.
I will because, man, I ran out of shavers and I'm too lazy to go get some. So
Well,
And
I reckon
money
keep
buying all his MIB
it
shit.
going because I think by the end of the year I want some curls. I want some waxed curls.
You
Yeah.
would look good in a curled mustache.
Oh
That
hell
would-
yeah!
Badass.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Do the Raleigh fingers?
I just
Oh,
might
yeah.
do that.
So here's the thing.
I'll
guys-
be your curator today and just do
I
the
want-
old twirl.
I got a stack
want
of
Max's,
three-colored Migos. Whoever
beard.
comes up with the curliest mustaches can get some free Migos.
There it is.
The whole room, everybody with, like curly mustaches.
All right. Yeah, I think I can.
I think
I think
we
it won't be too long.
Let's do it.
I just need a little bit of mustache waxed, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can do it.
You
Some
guys do it.
Viking there.
and it's funny because I just took off like 3 inches of the hair, took all the beard off. But
Look good, Max. It looks good,
Yeah.
brother.
well, thank you, sir.
He does.
Who's got the mummy?
Me.
That is, hold on.
That's Martin.
That's Martin. the
Martin,
Czar.
Martin, you picked up the mummy?
Got that dirty mummy.
That's the only one I'd buy, Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
Martin, we
It's
need Martin,
beautiful.
bring that to camera. You see a little bit more. Why does it have breastises?
It's
Oh,
because it gets shot.
Yeah, shot and speared through the chest, and they put an invisible body man underneath, thinking you could see through it. And instead, it looks like he's, I don't know, his nipples generate massive heat and burns through.
That's what I was asking. Like, is it? Yeah.
I thought maybe somebody drilled holes in it or something.
Is
Who would
it?
drill holes
Is
in
it
a
see-through?
Migo?
I thought it was transparent. I thought the body underneath was an invisible man body. I
Is
couldn't-
it like a different? The wrappings look fantastic, though. I think Ray Castile did a video on all the monsters, the Tops monsters. He did a fantastic video, and he really pointed out a lot of great things about that particular figure. One of them being the wrappings are individually wrapped. It's not like a bodysuit on that figure.
No. It's done well in terms of the body and that design. The head is so incredibly off. It's fucking.
Really?
This is my favorite Hammer by a mile. Anybody
Right.
who knows me knows how much this is my guy, and it's.
I might
fucking-
watch it when I get off the stream with you guys. I might go
Look
watch it. That's how good it is.
Oh,
If
that's
you
a
can
good
see
one,
the
yeah.
photo, if you see the photo on the card, right? Is that coming through?
Yeah.
Yes.
we can see it.
Yeah, that comes so good.
What do you see about that face just right off the bat?
His
got no
eyes are
mouth.
kind of closed.
He's got no fucking mouth.
He's got no mouth.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He looks like somebody put mud on him.
And what is this guy doing?
He's
He looks like
smiling.
he
He's
looks like a pumpkin. It looks like a jack-o'-lantern.
I think Rich hit it on the head. I think this is their Christopher Lee Frankenstein head that's just reworked.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's no fucking logic to have a mouth on this guy. There's no
Well, Martin,
logic.
I posed this question to you because you have that mummy now, which means that you probably have all the mummies. Which
Gotta-
mummy is your favorite, sir?
Jesus, man, the Remco
Mr.
mummy
Czar.
still.
Well, no. So let me rephrase that. You're right. The new mummies that Migo put out since 2018. How many we have now? 2, 3, including this one.
So you got this one.
You got the Boris Karloff,
You
the
got the
hammer,
John
and you
Farley.
got the generic.
Yeah, that's
One that comes with
the generic is that's pretty much the Type 3 John Farley mummy.
That the Egyptian one?
John's actual mummy head is way better than what they used in the final outcome of that. This one probably I'd say is probably the best of the three because the body design is different.
But why would you spend so much time detailing that individually wrapped, which is a great idea? Why would you spend so much time individually wrapping and then put a head on it that's, like you said, it's got the mouth? I mean, they could have just caked over it because that's kind of what it looks like, right? They could just caked over the mouth to the cheeks.
Lou, I can't fathom. I can't explain that. Just like I couldn't explain the Phantom of the Opera.
Eyes look a little. To me, the eyes look a little. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't really.
No, they're too big. There's too much paint. You gotta I would love to have Dwayne. Pinkney. Yeah, I would love to have him just do a rework to the head because he'd nail it.
Martin, you've just been kicked out of Ambassadors. I just want you to know that. I just got a message. You've been kicked out for mentioning.
Oh, are you joking?
Yeah, like Lou's got an insight to Migo Ambassadors.
Yes,
right?
I'm in the Ambassadors I'm managing and monitoring the room all day long.
Yeah, that's
out
the
of
first,
there, sir. You are
that's
out
the
of there.
first thing that they do is they contact Lou Melagrana to let him
exactly
know
right.
what's going on.
All right, hold on. Let's be honest. It's just a farce. The whole thing about the whole, not like that's a farce. They pass me all the information so that I can infiltrate Migo. Like I can change all you guys over and brainwash you. That's the
right.
No,
Johnny,
and who's I thought it was. Now was it Lou or Brian that's going over and breaking everybody's?
That's great. Yeah, I mean that's.
No, I think Brian and I have
fantastic.
Multiple accounts to brainwash.
Okay.
The card is good. I think. I mean, from what I'm seeing on the back, other than
the card's
good. That head down there on the right from 1974. I don't know why they keep putting that head on there, but
the dead space, the negative space in these cards, I don't get it. But
this is all dead space on the mummy of all things. Could you not choose a more funny word?
And I'm going to bring something else up so we can see it here. Someone in Ambassador, or not fucking Ambassador, Amigo pointed this out. That is the font from Universal from the Mummy that they used for the Karloff film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that started. Where'd that start, Rich? On the VHS in the 90s?
Yeah, it was on the VHS tapes.
Yeah, that I didn't even notice that until he pointed it out. And there's only one figure that doesn't. There's a Super 7 reaction that doesn't use that font. Everything else does.
I wonder if that's a Universal thing that they.
Yeah. Most people don't understand the Universal Hammer thing. It's not. Universal doesn't own any of the Hammer films. It's the Phantom of the Opera. The Herbert Lom Hammer version actually started as a remake at Universal, and then they just gave up on it. And Horror of Dracula did so well, they went to Hammer and they said, "Hey, you want to take this project over? Go ahead." And that's what started the relationship. And then suddenly Hammer started going back, and they're like, "You know what? Can we?" Because the Mummy was fully owned by Universal, and they're like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And so they said, "That's you want to do something? Go ahead," because Universal's making money off of it. And they took all the Mummy films and they just sort of mixed and blended them into one. Which is why it works. Because if you watch, me and Richard were talking about this like a month or so ago. You watch the Universal Mummy movies; they're batshit crazy. They are absolutely the chronology, the ideas going on. They're just insane. So these guys took all the bits and pieces and put it together and actually made something that made sense. So that's the real relationship between Universal and Hammer, is just a licensing of usage of things, and it's carried over into your product. I still don't know what the deal is with the Curse of Werewolf. That's what I'm wondering if someone like Ray Castile or someone knows. I haven't been able to find out why that's a licensing issue.
and it's because it's a werewolf. They don't say the wolf man. They call it the curse of the werewolf. I know that Universal's real tight about holding that the wolf man copyright.
It is a dog eat dog world.
Is it the wording of the curse of?
So you were talking about John Farley and mummies. This is a John Farley custom of.
Danny, I don't know if it is. That's interesting.
That's a very good figure.
Yeah, that's
what
John
body is that,
Farley.
Richard? By the way, this is also Dr. Durant. We want you to know he is a real doctor. He is he's a medical doctor and a doctor of monsters.
Is that a type 3 body?
Yeah, this is a John Farley custom.
What is a type 3 body? Can you explain? I don't
Lou, know John. He was.
I know John, but I don't know what a type 3 body is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He made his own bodies from scratch.
What is that?
John is probably he's probably the closest to Charlie Flat.
Oh, okay.
That's his mummy. Check out this mummy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's very nice.
If you ever follow his stuff and see his actual process, he's another guy. He's an actual straight up artist, no question.
So what is he modifying, like type 2 bodies to type 3 or?
No. He took type 2s back in the day and he tore them apart and he rebuilt them and he added way more muscle mass and posability and different hands for each character and
the only way you can get a type 3 body from?
Just the body itself?
No, like if you want a type 3 body, it's got to come from John Farley.
It's mostly like, so when he does a character is when he does the builds.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if he's ever. I mean, I guess you could get him to cast just a standalone body, but like when he does Spider-Man,
type 3 is that's his thing.
Yeah, John Farley's a damn legend.
Yeah, his stuff.
His stuff was. Did you see his stuff at Mego Meet in 2019?
Which one?
Oh my goodness!
Where was he?
He sets up. He's the one who's got everything under glass. He's got everything like how Johnny wants it all displayed.
This is my favorite, Werewolf by Night.
Awesome!
Wow.
That's cool.
Rich, get that closer. Get that closer to the yeah. Oh my goodness!
I hope he never has to scratch his nuts. Those nails would
kill his nards.
Yeah, that's very good. So John Farley did this one. Yeah, that's very good. That's really, really good. I like it.
There's a guy about, I don't know how many years back, selling a ton of these online, and I picked up a bunch of them for a song because.
Where are they going for, like $80, $90, $150, something like that?
He was around 60 at one point, and then it kicked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was more in the 60 range when I paid for these.
So that's all good. So type 3 is Farley.
I know it's I know it's not a werewolf.
No one can tell me who did that.
No, you didn't. No,
yeah, buddy.
Danny.
So
is that me?
No better than that.
That's Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I did the fur and the costume on this one.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow. Oh,
that's cool.
My goodness.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's first place prize right there, dude.
As soon as this figure came out, I did this custom straight away. I've been wanting this basketball Teen Wolf for a long time, so
my goodness.
I thought I'll do it.
Where'd you get the basketball from, Danny? Is it Big Jim?
That's a Big Jim, and it's a Big Jim basketball.
Okay. Those Big Jim shorts are Action Jackson.
Really?
These ones?
Yeah.
Right there?
No, these are Big Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Jim. Same with the singlet. I just painted the singlet.
No.
Danny's very
nice. Oh my goodness, man.
That's cool as hell.
That's a Big Jim shoes and his Big Jim socks.
That fur is killer,
you
man.
bought the Teen Wolf figure, Danny, and then you customized it.
Yeah. So I took the figure and then
is that your back hair?
I bought some fur and then put the fur on the body.
Did fucking Martin just say what I thought he said?
Yeah, the Armenian guy shouldn't be talking about body hair.
Yeah, right?
Martin shaved his boobs and sent him to Danny Yates for an official custom.
I figured
Box of pubes.
I figured that's why Sanchez is bald. He's just saving it, putting it in a bag, and sending it to Australia.
Oh, and Sanchez isn't even here to defend himself. It's so.
Oh,
He
you
just
guys are
sends-
kicking this guy while he's down. You're kicking this
He
guy
just,
while
he
he's
just
down.
sends over a box of back hair, and then I just use figures.
He's watching it and he's steaming right now. He's just furious.
Oh,
Those bastards. He tried to get on a couple times and he just got frozen. I'm like, he's got to get off his Mint Mobile or Cricket Mobile or whatever he's got going on.
don't worry, he's taking notes. He's taking notes. Don't worry.
He's on his Obama phone.
Yeah, he's taking notes.
I only pay $4.
You got one of
a month.
those.
We're all gonna make the list.
That's crazy. That's fucking fantastic. So that's
Man.
good.
Now,
So
I've
this
never been able, Martin. Maybe you can help me out with this because that's what's that?
Martin's showing. Hold on a second.
So that
Martin's
is
showing his bedroom. Martin, what is this?
Yeah.
Your bed?
this is John Farley. This is Type 3. He took the G.I. Joe Adventure mummy case and he extended it to 8-inch.
Oh wow!
That's what I was gonna say. It looked like a GI Joe.
Yeah, he extended that guy to 8-inch.
That's
Good.
cool.
Is that
Sorry.
the one from the G.I. Joe Adventure Team?
Martin, is that plastic or is it?
It's a resin. It's a
It's
resin
resin,
that he cast. Yeah, it's fantastic. I have
Is that
How tall is that?
8-inch. Fits an 8-inch figure.
Hold on a second. Can you put a tops figure in there and see if there's a whole inch extra?
Oh, dude, the Topps figure would fit perfect in this thing. Perfect, because 8-inch figure fits tight.
You could put them on top of 2 phone books too. Yeah, he's doing some good stuff. He's doing some good stuff over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like his
That
Morbius.
one.
There's the GI Joe.
The Shocker, he did Shocker, Scorpion. He
I
did
love that, man.
Yeah.
There it is.
That thing.
That is like my favorite GI Joe accessory. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why.
It's,
It's-
it's,
That's
it's
amazing.
fantastic.
The
It's
mummy,
fantastic.
You got the mummy in it? Is it open or you can't?
Yeah,
open it?
I'm just gonna try. Yeah, I'm just trying to get out. It's a
Don't
bit
break
stiff.
it. Don't break it. Don't break it. What I
Don't
love
break
is
it.
it's got that. It's like that blow mold mummy in there that pops onto a little pin on the back, and then
Yeah.
it comes
Yeah.
with 3 giant. Well,
You want
jewels.
to open?
Was it blue, red, and yellow? I think it comes with. It's really cool. It's such a great set. That was the only like boxed GI Joe vintage set I ever owned, other than when I was a kid, and I wound up selling it when I sold my collection.
I love those. I got
Danny,
the newer
you
ones.
gotta open. It's a slider, Danny. It's a slider.
It's
Yeah,
the
I know,
cut.
but it's
Yes,
jammed.
right.
If it won't open, then don't break it.
Danny,
It's
will
gonna
pass
go a
out. You
million
break
pieces
that
and
thing.
get yelled at by Danny.
Don't do it, baby. Don't do it, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta slide
Don't
it.
do it,
Let it
baby.
go.
Jammed up.
Let it
It's
go.
jammed up.
That's such a great.
Yeah, there's Johnny saying, "Don't open it. Don't open it."
Don't open it. Right.
Hey, Martin.
He's like it's mint.
You know
It's
who
not
made
mint in the
this?
box, but it's mint in the mummy coffin. Leave it alone.
It's
Right.
mint material.
Yeah, who was
Yeah.
that?
Leave it closed. Don't open it.
I'll be doing my next videos from the Smithsonian.
Ooh,
And here we go.
nice.
That's
Look at that.
that's a Monster Frankenstein Marvel that Rich bought, and it was made by a guy at the Mego Museum. Who was that?
Is that Hulk's head?
I think it's a Hulk head, but yeah, it's supposed to be Marvel Comics Frankenstein, the monster Frankenstein from Marvel.
Right.
Was it? Did that turn out to be? Did that turn out to be Magyar? Magyar? Is that who that was?
Oh,
Mego
that's
Magar?
Mego Magyar. That's oh my god. Scott. Hold on. I can't think of his name right now. I can see him in my head. Martin, he was at Mego Meet.
Yeah, it took me a while to
The guy
find
with
it.
the longer hair. It's the longer hair and the glasses. Was it Scott? Do I have his name right? Scott? I know him. We've known him for he's been on the Levy list.
Yeah, he was around. He was around for a long
Oh
time.
my god. What's his
That's
last
who it was. I'd have to look again, Rich. I
Very
found
quiet, really nice. Yeah, really nice guy.
I found it on Custom Mego. His name was still attached to it there. It's from what did I say, 2014?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Again, I bought it like when that guy was selling all his
It was a while ago.
Farley stuff. This was one of the things he was selling. I was trying to get all the Marvel monsters. Somebody has to make a living
Scott
mummy.
Metzger.
A living mummy.
Sorry. Scott Metzger. That's his name.
No, that's not the same guy.
He's Mego Magyar. Or is it
No,
somebody else?
Metzger?
Scott Metzger's Mego. Yeah, he has the longer hair and the glasses.
Oh, I know Scott. Yeah, he gave me a. He gave me a.
Unless it was a different Magyar.
Then I must have the wrong person because I don't think Scott made that. I
I'm
found
looking at Rich's room, and there's like the Mad Monster, Boris Baron von Frankenstein or Boris Karloff heads like peeking out, like it's actually like it's Puppet Master. To the right of him, you can see in the shelf, just looking out, you just see that big head. It's distracting me.
Looking at you, Lou. Stop chewing your fucking food.
It's like the gum. Yes. Hold on, it's time for some num num. Time for some num num.
There it is.
Ah, he got it. Got it
Oh,
all
Danny
back.
fucking forced it. Did it crack?
Yeah, it came out. So
Nice.
yeah,
Hold on, wait a
it's
minute.
cool
Let's pop it
because
on the screen.
a lot of them.
Don't
There's a
snap
pin.
it off. Pull it.
No,
Pull it
there's
with
a pin. There's a pin that holds his body, and a lot of the time that people just jerk that mummy out and snaps that pin. So this one actually has a pin. It's a bit hard to see, but there's a pin right in there that holds the body. Yeah, it's one of the. I think it's one of the most iconic toy things that G.I. Joe Mummy's Tomb.
Danny,
I like the mummy. I mean, it's bright white. That's the only thing that doesn't make it look like it's old. But I like the way it's wrapped. It looks like something you would actually pull out of a coffin. I think.
Yeah.
You know why, in terms of the G.I. Joe production history, why the pygmy gorillas were pygmies? I never understood that. Like the Yeti and the
plastic.
Why would that size?
It's a cheaper way. Just a cheaper way to get away with not having to make
a giant gorilla, right?
A large scale one.
But didn't Jim have a big gorilla? Didn't they have a big gorilla for Big Jim or something? I don't remember.
Yeah.
So that big
for the Big Jim, for the Big Jim, they had the swinging arm gorilla.
Yeah, that thing forever. That thing was awesome.
Yeah.
He was on.
Was that 8-inch tall?
Too.
What was that?
I could go grab one, but it's an awesome gorilla. It's an awesome gorilla.
Back, Lou, where you press it and his arms close and he's on wheels, and it actually
he spins. His arms spin over like that.
No kidding. Okay.
He's a
gorilla.
Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Danny, didn't that originally come from Tarzan?
Yes. No, well, that Tarzan had a panther,
and that guy.
And then that panther was Battle Cat from He-Man.
And this, and this.
They got some mileage out of that.
The ape was actually made for Big Jim.
It was Big Jim first.
Yes.
It looks like he's digging a dump.
It wasn't made for Tarzan.
Okay, but
he's digging a dump.
Tarzan package because I saw it. It's a blister card, and he's on a fucking.
Bring that up. I need to see that thing bigger.
I don't think there's a gorilla in the card with the Jim.
This was mine since I was a kid. I've had this since I was a kid.
Are you serious, Rich? Wow.
Yeah, it was my original one.
How did you not break that?
I don't. There's some stuff that just lasted for some reason. This.
How did you?
Because toys were made good back then.
Rich, how
that's
were you?
Not the Jim one, is it?
What'd you say?
How were you, Rich? How were you able to keep the? I'm going to assume that you're in your 40s now. Okay.
Yeah.
He's 67, Johnny. He's 67.
Yeah. How were you able to keep
years
that?
Old.
How were you able to keep this all this time from your childhood?
It was just like it made its way up to the attic, and then every time my mom moved, it moved with the boxes.
It went to Thailand.
Realize what that toy had to go through to make it to now? I mean, it survived.
Hey, Johnny.
None of my toys survived.
Johnny, I sold mine. Johnny, I sold mine 5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. I held on to that thing forever.
You guys are killing me.
The other thing about that, Johnny, that thing is solid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he looks heavy. He's like he's got some weight to him.
Wait, did Max disappear? Where the hell's Max?
He fell asleep.
Oh, Max, he went the fuck. There's like people in there saying hello. I thought he was watching the Facebook room. So Roger Gilbert came in. Roger said the guy's name is Gene Martin. I guess Scott mentioned him. Gene.
Okay.
And
is that Roger Gilbert?
Danny C's here. Danny G's here. Danny C's here. I want to say that.
What's up, guys?
Find the Frankenstein if you search Customigo, the Customigo page. The guy who made it, his name is still on there.
All right.
We're in the Mego Museum.
No, Custom Ego. The original postings for the museum don't exist anymore.
Is that run by one of the? Is that
You
run
can
by?
just search it. You can just search.
Is that Austin's room?
Maybe.
This is mine when I was a kid too, Johnny.
That's incredible. I don't have.
Clown around? What is that? Amigo clown around?
That's Amigo Clown Around, but it's the Frankenstein one.
Did I get it right or what?
The one thing that lasted long with any length of time was my Godzilla, Shogun Warrior Godzilla. I had
When did you get
I
that?
got it for Christmas of 1980, and I sold it in a comic book shop in 1990 for
Not
50
enough.
comic books.
Whoa.
50 comic books.
For 50, what 50 comics? The Death of
Johnny,
Superman.
not 90s books.
No,
were they?
you know what I did? Yeah, it was the Tomb of Dracula, the whole run of Tomb of Dracula.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Do you still have it, Johnny?
Those books?
Yeah.
No.
I sold him for a Shogun Godzilla. 50 comic books got me his left leg, and then I had to pay for the rest of them.
Because the Tomb of Dracula's, if you got a good run of that, they're probably just as much as a show.
Johnny,
I got it from one all the way up until the end.
Johnny, how did you sell the first blade? How did you do it?
How did I sell the Godzilla?
No, the first blade.
It was out of the box.
No. Tomb of Dracula, the first appearance of Blade. That thing's worth.
Oh, the first appearance. That was issue 10.
Yeah.
I sold it. I sold them as a collection. Yeah, I sold them as a collection. I think, and you guys gonna laugh at me. So I got that entire collection in 1990. I sold them in 2001 for, I want to say, the whole collection about $500.
It's not bad.
Yeah, about 500.
For the time you sold it, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's about five. It was a little under about 480, 490, somewhere around there.
Oh, here we go. This is what I leave.
Is this the one right here?
Yes.
You don't want to
take it out. Oh, get Johnny some heart, man.
Johnny, you don't want this guy to start.
It's in another plastic. He's got it in double plastic.
Look at this. That's
Very nice.
I mean, now I'm chasing down comic books that I had in the past.
Fantastic.
I just found.
That's fantastic. That's a great.
Oh, let me see if I can get it. Let me see. I just found.
So you got something in your hand, Gates.
Oh, look at Danny Gates.
So Gates, what is that one? The picnic one?
Wow.
That's the Big Jim one.
Oh, that's the Big Jim with the net.
Lou, that was the best non-King Kong gorilla of the 70s.
That is absolutely fantastic. Look at the mouth on that thing.
Yeah. And that figure, Lou, Mattel later on, and the guy who made He-Man reworked it, which was supposed to be the other creature besides Battle Cat that He-Man rode into battle.
Yeah.
Gorilla?
And these are
Look at that.
the
There they
pygmies.
are.
They're the pygmies, the white.
G.I. Joe ones?
Yeah.
I hate
The
to say it,
Benko one
compared to the
and
other one, they suck. They look like a baby having a teething. Look how
Yeah.
teeth up top.
So these are quite sort of light, basically rubber. They're rubber, and this one's quite a heavy. It's quite a heavy gorilla.
And that's the actual net that came with them.
Too?
Hey?
Do you have the croc or the alligator? That thing that flexes? Do you have that thing?
Yeah, I've got the
Big Jim both use the same one, right?
Yeah, I've got the croc and the rhino, the panther.
You got the giant.
Rhino doesn't move, right? It's like a statue, I think, or like plastic, right? Because I think I saw one on eBay. It doesn't move.
The panther? Did you say?
No, the rhino.
Oh yeah, the rhino's just sort of a stagnant plastic figure. Yeah,
that would be something to get an army of rhinos.
And you got
it looks good when you got when you put the rhino in the safari truck with the net over. It looks awesome.
See, that's something to have an army because they could go fight the Green Lantern army that I don't know anything about, apparently.
Yeah, Lou, all those Big Jim animals were like, I mean, it's the condor from Big Jim, right, Danny? That becomes Thor.
Whoa, what's the condor?
So there's a giant condor that got used for like 2 or 3 different sets, and then that became that became Zor, which was originally He-Man.
He-Man.
I had Big Jim as a kid, but I had the jet, the Barbie jet, the jet that looked like the Barbie jet that folded out.
No, you had the Barbie jet. That's all right.
No, my sister had the Barbie jet, and I got the Big Jim. I had the fire truck with the bucket on it or whatever it was. I had the camper. I only had I had Big Jim, but I think I remember just the karate chop. So I think I had 2 of those.
I had the
You had Big Jim of the City, is what you're saying.
What is it?
You had Big Jim of the City.
The one where he
The
chopped
fireman
wood,
and
the plastic
karate
wood.
guy.
I don't know, but that's what I had Big Jim wise. That's all I had. And,
Actually, Lou, it sounds like you had the Village People.
no, the Village. The Village people weren't doing any kung fu chops.
Yeah, I had a cop. Reggie's like, I had a cop and an Indian and this motorcycle guy.
And the army guy.
No, I did have the Big Jim with the pelvic thrust. Well, maybe it wasn't a Big Jim. I don't know. That might not have been a Big Jim. That's
motorcycle cop, the Indian.
Yeah, exactly.
The army guy.
Thing where we're just looking at a bunch of
worker.
Construction worker. Construction worker. Threats totally inappropriate for work.
I remember having more G.I. Joe stuff, Lone Ranger stuff. Definitely had the Lone Ranger and Tonto. I never had a complete anything. If I had the Lone Ranger, I probably didn't have Tonto. I probably had the whole silver, not the Tonto, but I had some Migos, some Lone Ranger, $6 Million Man. I remember getting the first one that came out with the arm that lifts up. That was one of my favorites. I remember opening that Christmas morning and how much I loved the fact that you could roll back his skin.
Yeah. See the arm.
Yeah.
That's still one of my favorite discussions.
The bionics out. I thought that was cool, but I lost the bionics in a day. I mean, they were cool.
That's still one of my favorite discussions. I think it was Dan and Sanchez, and they're going back and forth, and then suddenly they were talking about the Bionic Man's foreskin, and they did.
Oh,
didn't realize it.
Oh,
they're like, yeah, that foreskin keeps ripping. I'm like, wait.
Somebody made replacement skin, right?
Oscar, Danny? We're gonna need a bionic circumcision.
Yeah. The bionic wrist.
Killer. Oh, that's cool. Jesus. So of all between Big Jim and G.I. Joe, which one had more I don't know, accessory animal type things? Is it G.I. Joe or is it Big Jim?
Oh, I think Big Jim would actually, to be honest.
So not Big Jim gorilla that you were showing Danny with the net on it?
Yes.
Sorry?
So what's this, G.I. Joe?
I don't know. With animals?
No,
it's the same one.
G.I. Joe didn't have a gorilla like that.
Well, no, they had a pygmy gorilla.
He had the pygmy like this guy.
They had the Yeti.
That guy.
They had a Yeti.
What's this guy from?
But originally,
a Yeti. I think it was a Yeti.
No, Danny, were those the ones that were called the pygmies, right?
Yeah, these guys are in the pygmy. That one is in the pygmy set.
They look like babies.
In the pygmy set.
Right. Yeah, they're a cheap way of Hasbro was trying to keep costs down. They say, look, you're getting all these other accessories with this 12-inch pack set, 2-pack set or whatever. The little creature doesn't have to be, full scale. So we'll throw that in. And look, they were back then. They were catering to what, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds.
Yeah. Someone did say years ago that there was a factory when they did these in China, and Hasbro took them because they were going to make these as sideshow gifts. If you went to a show or a fair or something, and you could win those jigglers.
Yeah,
you could win those jigglers. That a company was going to do this, and you could win this at the sideshow.
So what year did those come out?
75, 76, somewhere around there.
Military era, right? After they did
I think it was around the 69, 70.
So that was that early.
No, for the adventure team.
No, like the
yeah, because this was the pygmy boat set. So it had a boat,
right,
and it had a hunter
I
and
gotta
a hunter
check my,
type figure.
I got my G.I. Joe Encyclopedia, which dates back from 64 to 78, I believe. I want to say
I'm thinking it has to be very early 70s.
70.
See, I'm because what I'm wondering is like, was that originally supposed to be a King Kong movie tie-in, and then someone saw it at the plant and they're like, "Fucking
No,
looks."
it was from a Ranger Roundup. It was originated in Australia, and it's
Right.
for a Ranger Roundup. They all came in orange originally, but they just weren't selling.
Hey,
Well,
Danny,
when did King
I'm not
Kong
sure.
come out?
Correct.
76, I believe.
So
This one's 76.
The motion picture King Kong came out in 76.
Oh,
And generally, that's
King Kong 76. Rich is here, so Rich can spend the next hour talking.
I'm thinking this was real early 70s.
I
Like
wouldn't
70s,
go. I gotta find where's now.
when did
See
they do the?
now, Danny, I'm gonna be up all night trying to
Where's your
locate
book,
that
Donnie? Get
information.
the book. You should have it ready. The book.
I
Should be
got
ready.
it. I should have it ready, but you know what? I'm in the.
What was the comic you were going to show us, Johnny?
It was it's the 52 issue of Metal Man, and that was Dr. Strangeglove and the Brain Children, and that to me that was one of the coolest books, and I think I got that. I think it came out in 77. But I remember
John,
going
you
to
unwrap your comic books. You actually read them?
No,
Comic books don't come wrapped.
Don't
No,
they
I
come
don't
in a
come wrapped.
plastic something?
well, this one
Until
did
the 90s.
Unwrapped in
This
the
is
old
the one that I had to go track down. Let me grab it real quick. I had to track it down
So
again.
Rich, Lou gets his comics from the fishmonger.
I don't get any comics, man. I don't collect that shit.
It's like if you
I
see
have very few.
people selling them on eBay,
Well,
say,
I
sent
only
you a
get the
book,
Very
one-
like
few. I have
100 comics.
readable comics.
Lou, put that up
Hold
on a
let me
big
bring that
screen,
up. Hold on,
please.
bring that up for
Oh, that's
Johnny. Hang on.
nice.
Let me bring
Yeah.
that up, Johnny. Hang on. So I can make it a little. There it is.
Yeah.
Hang on. Now you can see it. There you go.
Yeah, Metal Man had a good run in the 70s. I like that
Right.
run.
And this is one that just stuck out in my childhood because it was one that I had. I actually had gotten a little bit of money that was given to me by my parents, and we get our little money in the 70s. Well, we go to the corner store and go right to the comic book rack
Yep.
and get some candy, and that's how we did it. And this particular one, and I remember this one, and I said, if I ever found this again, if I could track it down and it had to be in great condition, I would get it. But Lou, I'm like you. My comic book collection isn't that big. I only get the ones that really stuck out in my mind
You really
that I
like.
really enjoy. Yeah. Now the Vampirellas that I'm famous for, those are definitely the ones I track down and have. Now that I think about it, and I always say this on my Vampirella videos. My dad gave me those. He used to bring those home to me and my brothers and sisters. Vampirella, she was a little racy.
Yeah.
As far as with the very sexually oriented.
Oh yeah.
Did she have big breastises? Did she have big breastises?
Yeah.
Yeah, and, but you know what? That was probably like as a kid in the 70s, growing with I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. That was the closest thing to Playboy for me.
Yeah, that was.
I had a subscriber say that.
I know who that was. That I know who it was.
Yeah.
Vampirella was great. I mean, and it was really violent too, like a lot of these.
Yeah. I mean, people actually died in these comic books, in these stories, and it was something I enjoyed reading, and the artwork was just, I didn't even mind the fact that it was in black and white.
And
they had a lot of Spanish artists on Vampirella. It was a lot of Spanish artists that did the artwork on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We just lost one. We just lost one that did a lot of work on Vampirella. There was a couple good Italian artists as well.
Yep.
That did work for on Vampirella. That was the beauty of it, man. Everybody worked on those earlier horror magazines and stuff, man. And Oh man, I love it. And
this is a book you got to get if you get a chance. It's hard to get now because it's out of print. The Warren Companion.
Yeah,
Hold on, go slow.
It's all about Vampirella, Creepy Magazine, Eerie Magazine. You know, all the magazines that they did Famous Monsters too.
Yeah.
But Warren Publishing.
Do you got Vampirellas, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got a ton
Rich?
of them.
Yeah.
I have Vampirella #1.
I have Vampirella #1. It's a reprint though.
Yeah.
I was shocked that I did a video on it, and that's one of the highest videos I have for my Vampirellas, which is shocking because it's a reprint, and you know I stated that. That was a gift from my good buddy RV Collectibles.
Even the reprint can go for some bucks right now.
Yeah.
I got a lot of this stuff back when nobody was buying this stuff, when it was that
Like the
dead
Benny Hill
period in
show
comic
dates.
book.
It's like that.
You know,
Right.
I walked out and I held on to it, you know, and now it's gone up.
It's way up there. That's
I mean, I've been buying comics my whole life. You know, it's like you said, since a kid in the corner store. It was
Oh man, yeah.
You know,
That's
that was,
just.
and I even still have some of my originals from when I was a kid. You know, it was just like they're real tattered and torn, but you know, well loved.
Look at us now. You know, look at us
old
now.
farts. You guys are a bunch of old farts.
And
Reminiscing about your corner store and your 10-cent comic books.
You left out the Annihilators, okay? The chocolate Annihilators. I bet you guys never had chocolate Annihilators.
I never heard of that. What's a chocolate?
You see what I'm saying?
Now or later's. Now or
Or
later's.
laters.
Okay.
You don't
Yes,
say it. You got to say it fast.
Now
See?
laters.
Now laters. Now laters.
That must be a Ohio
laters.
thing.
Yeah.
From
Now
Louisiana.
laters.
Now, if you're from Massachusetts, did you have chocolate Necco wafers?
Dude, they sell those.
I'm not, but yes, we did. But I'm not in Massachusetts. So wait, right. I know what you're talking about, Rich.
Yeah,
those are great. They're hard to
My
find.
dad always
I
had
like
a pack of those in his pocket.
Better than the other ones.
What about
Definitely
the Mary
good.
Janes?
Yes.
Yeah. those
Come
are
on
good.
now.
Love Mary Janes.
Them things always stick on. You couldn't get them
Yeah.
things out of
You
your
take out
teeth.
your
You
fillings,
like?
man. You take out
Oh
your
man,
fillings.
they were hell on fillings. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in 1981, that damn candy bar called whatchamacallit came out,
That's
and
delicious.
I think my aunt, God rest her soul, sent me to the corner store like a million times because she was in love with those whatchamacallit.
That is a great candy bar. That's a great
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah.
Johnny,
What you got?
this came out in 73.
Okay, so
So-
you said 69, 70, but that my antenna went up when you said 69, 70 because they didn't really start that whole adventure team really getting him into all of that
After the
until
war, right, Johnny?
a little further into the 70s. But yeah, 73. That's about right.
Wasn't
That's
that
when
like
the
they started
Apollo-
doing all that after the Vietnam War to kind of change from a soldier to
Absolutely.
adventurous, right?
Yeah,
To
it was hard to
take it all
sell.
into adventure style action instead of war action.
Gates,
It
you
was
have
adventure.
the what is it? The hunt for the white tiger or the capture of the white tiger? You have that.
Yeah.
They put that little tiny
Yeah,
tiger.
that's sort of down in the cabinet down there in the cage down a bit further.
Well, it's funny because when they did the remakes and they did it's not like hunt for the white tiger. It was like take photographs, whatever that set was, Johnny, that came out. Take photographs of the white tiger, whatever it was.
Oh,
And the tiger
Yeah.
wasn't a little tiny thing. It's a big tiger. 'Cause
It's a massive thing. Well,
All right,
yeah,
Johnny, here's
that's the
some
adventures of
Vampirellas.
G.I. Joe. Oh yeah, yeah.
Danny's favorite set is the Hunt for the White Wino.
You got any bum wine, Danny? You got any bum wine?
I don't actually. No,
You guys
Hey,
need
this
to
I
is
run
bum
out of
awesome.
bum wine.
This guy's
This
a
is great. This is great to give to a 7-year-old. Wait, hold that up, Rich. Hold up the
No,
other
that's
one.
a classic.
This
that's
is
a
what
classic right
Johnny
there, Rich.
got. Johnny, this is great for
Oh,
a
yeah,
7-year-old. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
classic.
Teach you
So
about all about
imagine,
the
man.
birds and the bees and one cover.
Listen, that was some good reading back there in the 70s, buddy. Let me tell you.
Yes, it was. I can see why.
And sometimes I could, oh my goodness.
Did it have some TNA in it? Did it?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Did she have a thong on and all that? She have a thong?
That was,
You know what?
that was heavy on the T.
Yeah.
Heavy on the T. Heavy
All
on
right,
heavy,
gents, my
heavy on the
phone's about to
booty.
die. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm about
Bye,
to jump
Marty.
off too, guys. My phone's at 5%.
Oh man, you made it a long
Yeah.
time. You guys did good.
Yeah, mine
very
died out.
good.
That's how come I had to switch. That's how come I had to switch over to the
Hey,
laptop.
Marty, before you go,
Uh.
Cinema Fantastique,
Oh, there it is. I got a
Terrence
stack of those
Fisher.
somewhere too.
issue number 3.
Issue number 3.
That was a hell of a magazine.
And they're talking about the films of Terrence Fisher from Hammer.
Oh wow, that was a great man. You know, that's funny when you guys did that show the other night. You were going to talk about altered states. There's a issue of Cinefastique, which that's probably one of the best breakdowns of that movie. Lou, that was a magazine that taught you about the industry. Friends of Old World.
No.
Rich, how many comic books you got, Rich?
I got a lot. I got more
Let's
than I
bring
got more
Rich.
than I got toys.
You lost count.
Rich, let's bring Foom back and we'll call it Fool.
What issue is that, Rich?
This issue is 75.
Okay.
She's
Yeah,
still
I've been looking for that. I got a couple places I'm gonna check out next week.
You can pick them up fairly reasonable still.
Oh yeah, I find them very reasonable now. You know, I started to purchase them back in the early 2000s, and one day I just decided to do a video on it.
Rich, you
Look
look
at
like the
that.
guy from the Twilight Zone, trapped in the safe, reading all the books. You are surrounded by. Are those all comics?
Well, this
Have a
this
backup
book
pair of
about
glasses.
vampires, Hammer
Very
style.
nice. There we go.
I love that picture. Oh, what a great picture.
But you used to have to order this from the back. I had to order this from the back of Fangoria magazine when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, there he is. That's one of my favorite Mego figures, though. That Hammer Dracula.
That is good.
I think they did a great job on that. Yeah.
Rich, I just saw you got a slee stack on your hat there.
I do.
Yes, I saw that.
Rich, you're just oozing in 1970 greatness.
He's only 27 years old. That's the crazy part.
Oh Lord.
We're gonna call you Jim Mego. Can we call him Jim Mego? Is that possible?
I need
That's why he has a birthday on the double leap year.
yeah, whatever double leap year. Whatever that guy's taking, I need it.
That's crazy. I'll bring that up there. That's crazy.
Wow,
Very,
he just
very crazy.
disappeared. Oh, there he is. Okay. That he
Max has switched
McElroy said he's gonna
devices like 4 times. You guys ever heard
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Jonathan?
well, it's burning out faster than my battery's charging. I guess I don't know what.
Yeah.
I get old shit. I guess.
That's because
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
got those
Ron,
19.
people
That's
when
because
they
you guys got those 1970 cell phones. You got to get off that.
Yeah, that's it. I gotta.
Pre-iPhone.
Actually, my cell phone. My cell phone's for just that. When I was using it, I have to have it up and down. In the
Won't come across.
vertical as opposed to, and I can't see you all. I have it sideways.
Everybody lean.
But-
Everybody lean. Max is on it.
Everybody leans sideways, and that's the way it was. And I couldn't plug it in. So my tablet was working fine for a while, but it finally was giving it up. That's like I had to switch it
That's it.
again, and now I'm on the laptop. So
Are you in
Mine's
a different
about
part
to
of the
die.
room, Max? Because I don't see a bar behind you, and I'm trying to figure out where your bar and all that shit is.
Peace
yeah,
out, guys.
I'm actually in
All
a
right, Johnny.
different part of the basement. Like here, what do we got here?
All right, Danny. All right,
I got
Rich.
my
Good night, Johnny.
Yeah,
Good talking to
Johnny.
you as
Take care,
always.
guys.
Bye, Danny.
See you,
Bye,
mate.
Max. Bye. What's
Take it
bye,
easy.
asshole family, Lou. Bye, Lou.
See ya.
Yeah, I got my inversion machine here behind me. Yeah, we
I'm
got
trying
the
to figure out where
stairs
your
going.
bar is. Where's your bar?
It's over. Well, let's see. It's over there.
Bring it up like this. Oh, it's over there. Okay, because you were shooting.
Yeah, I just kind of had to move over. See, like right now, I'm in the space that's in between my bar and the Batman room. So this is the laptop here.
Okay. All right. That's what I was trying to figure out. So JP says you're supposed to make him a martini, make it shaken, not stirred, just like Bond.
Making not stirred, right? Yeah.
He wants a Bond martini.
Yeah, gotta get a Bond martini going, you know. And I think the only thing I'm missing right now is I don't think I have any vermouth over there.
I don't have shit, man. Whatever my wife gets is what we have. Today I went out and bought wine and I bought beer.
Okay. Well, you got it covered then. What else do you need? You know,
well, they're like, we need they're asking me, like her father's asking me, well, let's go to the liquor store. I want to get this stuff. And I'm like, he's asking me for shit. I'm like, I don't think they sell that shit here. And he's like, well, let's look. So we're looking, can't find it. So then he sees so you ready for this, Gates? You'll love this. So he sees a Foster's oil can, right? He's like, oh, I want this. So he gets it. I said, you ever had that before? He says, no. He says, from Australia. I said, nope. It's the United States. That all from Australia is bullshit. He says, I said, my friend lives in Australia. He says, bullshit. I go, it's called an oil can. So I'm telling this in Spanish. So I pay for it. He picks up the can to start cracking it open. The guy goes, no. Gotta leave. You can't open that shit in here. So he starts to go outside. He goes, open. I said, no, don't open it. He says, why not? I said, I got to drive. He says, yeah, so? I said, we can't have an open can we can't open anything open in the car, and it's got to be basically in the trunk, right? So in Spain, you're allowed to have open drinks in the car as long as the driver doesn't have it. So you can sit in the passenger seat and drink. I said to him, you could sit in the back of my car and crack that beer open, not even take a sip. If I get pulled over, guess who's going to jail? Me. It's so fucking strict here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is,
it's the same here.
Well, you know,
the same here. Well,
it's funny.
Passenger can drink. Sorry,
we can't hear.
Yeah,
sorry, Max.
There are some states in I think Texas, Georgia. I think it's Georgia is one of them where you can actually drink while you're driving, and perfectly fine. But the fact that you have a drink while you're driving gives the cop permission to pull you over. But as long as you're not drunk, they'll let you go.
Right. See, we don't have that here. You're not allowed to drink and drive here. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Here in Wisconsin, I mean, there's some states like that. You can't have an open. I mean, if you have a six-pack in the car where the door could reach it, and there's 5 in there, even though all 5 are closed, it's still an open container. You know, so if you have a case of beer, or a 24-pack, and you have opened it up and drank some at a party, you're taking the rest home, you got to throw that shit in the trunk. It cannot be in anywhere where the driver could reach it.
Yep.
Now
the trunk thing is really big here. That's true.
Yeah, they've gotten weird. It didn't always used to be that way here in Wisconsin. I know that, but they've kind of changed a lot of the rules now, and it is what it is, and I understand why, but some of it's just kind of stupid. But if the people in the car are drinking and the driver's not, and let's say it comes over and says, okay, these guys are all drinking, the driver's sober, keep rolling. That whole open container nonsense is stupid. It's like that's another one of those things I don't understand. It's just a weird rule. I mean, I just have a problem with laws that are inconsistent.
Well,
yeah.
It's like here, they could pull you over in Wisconsin. They could pull you over if you don't have your seatbelt on. They could pull you over for that.
Oh yeah, they do that here. You're not allowed to drive without a seatbelt on here.
But here in Wisconsin, you could drive a motorcycle with no helmet on.
No, we don't have that. You have the helmet. Here's some fucked up shit. This is true.
Crazy.
About 5 years ago, I got pulled over. Where was I? I was in my car. I was in an SUV, and I looked down on my phone and I said, "Hey Google, I need directions." Right? But the phone was but you couldn't see it because it was below the dashboard. Cop in a police car in a cruiser pulls me over. And I didn't realize at the time that they were recording. Now they do body cams and they do recording all the time. They don't have to tell you. In Pennsylvania, say we're recording. Before you say anything, you need to know you're being recorded. New Jersey, they don't. You say it, you commit it, you're screwed. So he said, were you on your phone? I said, no, I was asking for directions. He said, was the phone in your hand? I said, well, it was down here. And he says, well, I saw you look down, so I know you were on your phone. I said, look down. I could have been doing the radio. He goes, no, you were definitely looking at a phone. And I was like, well, I was just trying to get direction. I should have never said that. I should have said I was doing the radio. So I incriminated myself, right? Okay. So I said, all right, I'll go to court. So I go to court in New Jersey. the first offense is like $150 or $200. The second offense is like $400 or $500. And the third offense is $800 plus, and you can lose your license for 6 months because they treat it like drunk driving. Okay. So I go to court. I get in front of the judge. I said, Judge, I just want to plead guilty. I don't want to be here all day. He says, you sure? I said, yeah. He says, all right, well, you're on your third offense. I said, Your Honor, I said, I think you made a mistake. I don't mean to be, rude, but I don't think I've ever been pulled over for a phone before. And he goes, well, according to your driving record, you have. So it's like, okay, now I start to panic. I'm like, what? So he says, look, go down to DMV, get your report and find out. So I go down to DMV. They charge you $15 to print a fucking report. That's 1 page. It's unbelievable. So you go down, you get the page, and I see tickets for cell phone usage from 5 years before that. Okay. So I said, what the hell? So I'm looking at it, and they're only $40 tickets. So what was happening was they were giving tickets for cell phone use because they were non-moving violation. If you were speeding, it's all right, we'll give you a break, we'll give you a cell phone. It's a $40 ticket. That's all you do. You pay. There's no points, there's no nothing. But when they changed the law for cell phone use that you can't be on it, they made it retroactive 10 years.
Oh no.
So because I had 2 from 5 years prior and they were giving up for speeding, they put those on. So now you have a third offense. I had to go get a fucking lawyer. It cost me like $800. And they took it all off. But I said to the judge, I go, wow. I go, that's crazy. I said to the lawyer, and he goes, hey man, that's the law. He goes, I don't make them, I just enforce them. I'm like, and I said to him, I said, but those weren't even for cell phone use. You could tell they're $40. I go, those were speeding tickets. He goes, well, you shouldn't have been speeding. You got a break back then. I said, yeah, you're right, whatever. And they took it off. But I was like, man, I was like 10 fucking years? Like that. I mean, that's not excessive, especially if prior it wasn't considered a moving violation, but now it is. And all that is a way to fucking make money. That's all that is.
Yeah, that's all that is revenue raising. That's all that is.
I was like, oh, I go, that's a bummer. So I was like, but I got out of it, whatever, it was fine. But now I'm like really careful. But you hear the police are allowed to be on their cell phone talking while they're driving. Now they have radios. You're supposed to use your radio for stuff. And I know you can use the phone if you're a cop, whatever. They could be on the highway doing 90 or 100 on the cell phone. If you look down and it looks like you're hitting your cell phone, they'll pull you over. Not always, but they'll pull you over and say, we saw you on your cell phone. You have to not incriminate yourself. It's just nuts. And I'm like, why can they be on the phone? Well, they might need it. I'm like, they're sitting in traffic like this. You can see they're chatting up. And listen, I have nothing against cops. They help us all that stuff. But I'm cracking up. I go, this motherfucker's on the phone, chatting away, laughing it up. I'm like, it's clearly not, a police.
It's not work related.
Right, because we're on radio anyway. So I was like, whatever. So you just deal with that shit here. That's what goes on. We weren't allowed to have windows tinted here at all for years. And I don't tint my windows. I don't care. But people would tint your windows. And, if they weren't that really barely done from when you buy the car, like there's like nothing on it in the back. If you tinted your windows in the front, they'd pull you over and give you tickets. But they
limo
tint. Right. They blacked out all the cop car windows with tint and they were allowed, but you weren't.
Right.
And like, I don't have it. I don't care. But they finally changed it. Now you can have them whatever you want, so whatever. But
here it's here they have the same thing that you can get busted for the window tint if you got the back and the sides like where you can't see through them.
Right. Yep.
But and again, it's like why is that an issue? That's a safety for the cop when they pull you over. That's what that is.
I absolutely agree with you. I mean, they don't want to pull over and have somebody shoot through the window. I get that. I understand. But you know what they do in New Mexico? Yeah. No, go ahead, Max. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all I was to say. I say, I mean, I get it, but it's like whatever. I mean, it's like concealed weapon or I mean, I don't know.
Well, so my mother lives in New Mexico, and I went to visit her one year when she was in Albuquerque, and she goes, and I was driving, she's like, if you get pulled over, just put your hands out the window. Open the windows and it's 100 fucking degrees in the desert there, right? So put your hands out the window. So when you get pulled over in New Mexico, at least at that time, and I didn't get pulled over, but everybody has to roll in the windows and everybody has to put their hands out the window because you're allowed to have guns there. And the cops don't even want to come up to your car unless they know everybody's hands are. You don't put your hands out, they'll draw their guns until you take your hands out. I mean, they'll tell you, take your hands out. She's like, just put your hands out the window so they can see you don't have anything in your hand. I mean, it's like, That sucks, man. That it, you know, to me it sucks because I remember being a kid. Like cops were cool. Not to say cops aren't cool now, but it was cool. Like cops are cool. They help kids, all this shit, all that stuff. They help everybody, whatever. Now people are taking shots at them to the point that they don't know who they're going to pull over. That makes me nervous. I actually, when you get pulled over here, they walk up. They have their hand on their gun. Like no joke, they have their hand on their gun. And I get it. I'm all right with it, but it makes me nervous. I got pulled over, shit, man, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and Amanda was next to me, and she's like, "Are you gonna put my dad in jail?" It was two women cops, one on one side and one on the other, and they both had their hands on their gun. I got nervous because, like, I don't own a gun. I get people can own their guns. I'm all right with that, but I don't own a gun. And the lady's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "No." Right. I said, "I'm not all right." And she says, "Why?" I said, "You both have your hands on your guns," and they were the snap or whatever it is was flipped up so they could get the gun out, right? And she said, "Well, that's just for, for our protection, yours." I said, "Listen, I'm okay with that." I said, "But why did I get pulled over?" She's like, "Oh, you have a taillight out." I said, "Okay, did you see anything wrong in my car? It's all done." She goes, "Nope, you're fine. It's just your taillight." I said, "Then why are your hands on your guns?" I said, "That makes me nervous." She's like, "Well," I said, "plus my kid's in the car and you're standing right next to her with your hand on your gun." She's like, "Well, we're not going to shoot you unless you do anything." I said, "Well, you say that and I'm supposed to trust you." I said, "But I got a taillight out and you're fucking pulling me over the gun." I'm like, seriously, it is what it is. You just have to deal with it. It makes me nervous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about it, I mean, I just saw something on Facebook the other day that cop pulled over, or I mean, I don't know if it's on something that I get, that cop pulled over to help a stranded motorist and was ambushed.
Oh, that's ridiculous, man. And that's what ruins it for everybody. Everybody
right,
now, everybody has to be susceptible to that shit.
Now, where I live now, I mean, I got pulled over one morning going to work when I was still driving for the mail. It was like 4:45 in the morning, and I'm going down the road in it, like I'm the only one on the highway, it's like I'm exhausted. Speed limit's 55. I was going 71. I thought, I'm going down the road minding my own, and watching for deer and all that stuff. And I'm the only one on the highway and I'm going down the road. Also, I see the red lights and I'm like, oh shit. I look down 71. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch.
Never admit it.
And I immediately pull over, and, the cop comes up, it's a sheriff's department cop. He comes over on my passenger side. I got the windows open. I got my hands on the steering wheel, so he can see them.
Right.
And
why take a chance of being a smartass? You don't need to.
And I'm like, I just zoomed the windows open because I had power windows. I got my hands on the steering wheel like this, and and he comes up and he's standing back. I can't see if he's got his gun or whatever, and I'm just not worried about it. But cop was really cool. He asked me, he says, you're going a little fast. I said, yeah. He says, why are you going so fast? And I was like, I don't even have an excuse. I told him, I said, I'm the only one out on the road. I'm going. I'm not late. I'm not in a hurry. Rolling Stones is on the radio. I guess I wasn't paying attention to how fast I was going. And so he says, just lack of attention. I said, yeah, that's all it is. And so I gave him a driver's license.
Did you see me on Migo Like yesterday? He's like, you look familiar. I saw you on Migo Like doing a video.
Yeah. So and I hand him my stuff, and I don't know if you can see this wristband, but this is the Thin Blue Line.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and I've got I've got a Thin Blue Line on the back of my car. I got a firefighter one on the other side. Hand him my stuff, and I'm like, he asked me where I'm going. I said, yeah, I'm going up to the post office. I pick up a truck, deliver some mail, and he goes and checks my stuff, comes back, 71 and a 55, doesn't write me up. Wow. He says, you're going kind of fast. I said, yes, sir. And, he cut me a slack, but, so the cops here are kind of cool. I mean,
in my town, they're very cool. They're like, if you're a town like resident, they're like, look, just take it easy, whatever. Unless you're being an asshole, I don't say they always let you go, but they've always let me go for, I've done stupid shit here and there, like didn't quite stop at the stop sign, but there's nobody there and it's 50 feet from my house. I'm like, just, whatever. but they're always like, listen, we want our, our residents to be happy with their police force. And, we've got other things that are important. We just want you to take it easy so nobody gets hurt. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. We literally had one. I got pulled over once. I bought a I bought a vintage car. What an MG, right? An MGB, little British car. And I'm driving. It's like kind of dusk. There's still light. You can see, but it's about that time you need to put the headlights on. I couldn't find where the fucking headlights were on this car. I could not find them. Like, I'm 2 minutes from the house. I mean, my father had one of these when I was 4 years old, and it was my first one. And I just got the car like 20 minutes before I was out driving. Guy pulls me over. I'm like, he's like, your lights weren't on. I'm like, but I said, I know it's not dark. I was trying to get home because I can't figure it out. He was like a 17-year-old kid. And I'm like, listen, I said, officer, if you can figure out, put the fucking lights on this car. They were like on the steering wheel or someplace, like a little thing. I said, please let me know because I can't find them. So I'm just trying to get home. He spent the next 30 minutes talking to me about trying to sell me his pickup truck. Look, I was like, what? I was like, no, I don't want, because he was talking. He goes, this is a nice little car. I'm like, yeah, I like old cars. I got a couple of them here and there. He's like, yeah, I got this truck. Are you? And I'm like, are you trying to sell me your fucking? I said, if I say no, am I going to get a ticket? He's like, no, I'm not going to give you a ticket. I said, honestly, officer, I said, I'm really sorry. I said, but I was like 40 something, 42. I'm like, you look like you're 17. He's like, yeah, I'm 19 years old. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm old enough to be your father. I'm getting pulled over by, I said, no offense or anything. I said, but I guess I'm getting old. I just don't, you don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
And they were very cool. They were very nice, never really gave me a time. So,
and that's the thing, I mean, most of the time, if you're decent, you're not trying to run a line of bullshit by the cop and you're just straight up.
There it is.
And that's what I told him, because he asked me, why was I going to, and I told him, I said, I ain't got no excuse.
You're honest,
and I told him, I says, I wish I could, so I'm not late.
Yeah.
I'm not in any hurry. I got plenty of time. I left plenty early, and I'm just going down the road, just kind of watching, because I'm scanning for deer. I'm watching the road.
Yeah, of course.
Because deer come running out.
Where Danny's at, roos and koalas.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
I'm watching for
fucking emus running across the road. Take out your truck.
Yeah, I'm watching for the Sasquatch come running out, and I told him, and I think I made it laugh when I told him, I said, that Rolling Stones came on the radio, and
they probably enjoyed you being honest, because they get all kinds of bullshit,
he went back and ran my licenses. Last time you were pulled over, last time you got a ticket was 2005, and I said, yeah, okay, and he says, well, I'm gonna cut you some slack, but you really got to slow down. You got it.
So Wednesday, my daughter goes to this thing that she goes to the center with a friend, and the mother picks her up, which is really nice. She's very helpful. She drives in there, drives them back. She texts me. She's half a mile from the place. Now there's a stop. You come off a kind of a highway, not a highway. It's a really busy road, kind of a highway, and then you go to a stop sign. You make a right. There's a cop that sits there every morning. And I got pulled over once. He said, you didn't stop. I was like, officer, I did stop. He said, nope, you didn't stop. I mean, I hit the brakes. Like, I stopped, and then I went. And I usually give it at least 2 seconds. He said I didn't do that. And I want to do, argue with the guy. He just literally, I'm like, all right, no problem. Sorry. Thought I did. And he just hands out a ticket. She texts me. She goes, so what is she, 48? She goes, I haven't been pulled over since I was 17. Hasn't been pulled over, let alone a ticket. And he told her, hey, you ran the stop sign. She said, no, officer, I stopped. She goes, I got 2 autistic kids in the car. I'm not riding the stop sign and run the stop sign. I'm careful. Nope. Fucking hands her a ticket. I told her, I said, they do that all the time. I said, you have to stop and sit your ass there for 5 minutes and then you hand out tickets, because then he turns around and tells her how to fight it in court. And it's like, well, you already gave out the ticket, and I don't want to take the time to go to, and they bank on you not wanting to go to court because it's
exactly that's what they do.
Right. They're going to make money. But for them, because my business partner's brother was a trooper. He's here in Jersey, but for them, there are a certain amount of tickets that are quote unquote required to give out. Doesn't matter.
No, they don't have that. There's no such thing as a quota.
Here. There's quotas here. That I know. They say it. I mean, it's fucking nuts. It really is. But listen, I'm full protector of the cops. I fly the flag with the blue stripe in it. I fly that in front of my house, and that's not for me to not get tickets. That's because I want to know we're supported, because I don't want them taking a police force away and fucking disappearing. Right. No. I need those. I need somebody fucking comes in your house. You want the cops to show up, right? And I look at it. Look, if the guy's giving out tickets, right, he gives out tickets. It may not be your favorite thing, but I'd rather he's giving out tickets you know, and help them when time is needed, then there's no cops to help at all, and we don't get any tickets. Because when push comes to shove and shit's hitting the fan and somebody kicks in your front door, you want the cops to show up. I mean, because they're putting their ass on the line for you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But how did we get on cops from toys? How did we do that?
I don't know.
I was gonna, Danny, what are the
We'll have to rewind this. How did we get here?
I know. We have to figure that out. Danny, what other shit did they do for G.I. Joe or Big Jim that was like, I don't know why I have this crazy obsession with action. I told you guys it's an action figure that comes with like an animal companion. Like the G.I. Joe came with the shark. I mean, I got all the, so it's weird. So I don't have the original G.I. Joes on the one that Max got for me, but I have like the original G.I. Joe shark. I have the new G.I. Joe shark. I've got the squid, which I love. That fucking big squid, giant squid, or whatever. That's cool. Yep. The octopus, which I know they did an octopus for Big Jim because I saw the Big Jim one. The Big Jim one looks a little cartoonish to me, but it's cool.
Yeah, and it's not that big, to be honest.
No,
I mean, I know Big Jim's not a big figure. Sorry,
it's an expensive set. I mean, isn't it?
It's a very expensive set, and same with the bell diver and the big clam.
Yeah, that's the one I want. The big clam. So is it a plastic?
That's an expensive. That's expensive set. Yeah, so that has the clam, and it has the treasure chest and some coins.
Is there a pearl inside the clam?
No, it's just got the chest and
it's hinged. Is it hinged? I guess.
Or? Yeah. I mean, but I was just looking through some Joe books before, and there is actually quite a few animals. I mean, you've got, like you said, so you had the shark, the squid. There's the stingray.
I never saw the stingray. I know they got the
there's a stingray. There's obviously the white yeti and the gorilla.
So what's the difference between the white yeti and the gorilla? It's not the same set.
This is the snow version, like a yeti. Okay. And yeah, this is the pygmy.
Okay.
So the guy had the white suit and the snow.
Well, they
snow
redid the G.I.
Joe
with the Yeti or whatever, but it was the giant fuzzy one that I think
it was the big one. But that's the
or something. Was it the same?
That was the that was like the Wampa. That was like the Wampa of the Star Wars.
Yeah, and everybody. Yeah. When I got rid of it, someone was like, "I just want to buy that from you." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Like, no. But that's in one of the retro sets that never came out in one of the in the original.
No, the original no, because everything was small. Like I said to Johnny, I don't know if I have there, but the Hunt for the White Tiger or whatever it was called originally, they changed it. Like they don't want anything where we're shooting animals, we're saving animals, right? That kind of shit.
Yeah,
the tiger that they gave in the new set was big, man. It was like, I don't know if it was to scale, but it was a hell of a lot more than that little tiny kitty cat they put in the original one.
Well, in the original one, Joe, it was just like a big cat in the original one.
Yes,
to fit in that cage. So, I mean, Joe did have some animals, but I still think for the smaller line, and Big Jim didn't go for as long as the G.I. Joe in the States.
Right.
Big Jim had a lot of animals. You know, they had the panther, tiger, rhino, the gorilla.
Almost,
So there was enough animals.
I think the best action figure with an animal is the We Win Jonah and the Whale Bible.
No, it's not.
Bible figure.
No, it's not. The fucking Bible figures.
Max, this motherfucker, he gets so freaked out by the Bible figures. Fucking, he gets freaked the fuck out when I bring up the Bible figures. Like, Dan's like, that's the weirdest thing. They're making action figures of Bible people. Yes.
They'll fucking eat your eyelids. They will eat your eyelids when you're asleep. You don't want those in the house.
They didn't make Satan. They should have made Satan into an action figure. You know, but they used to sell them at Christian stores, and I have a couple of those over there. But the whale, you don't have the figure in the whale under either Rainfall or We Win. They both go in the whale.
No, they got that devil figure out there. You know, I mean,
that's a great figure. Was that the FTC one, right?
Yeah, FTC did a really interesting one, and you know, I was looking at that. I didn't know what I would ever use it for or doing, but it was really an interesting figure.
I think Brent's brought out or bringing out some sort of devil.
Oh, he is.
Figure as well. Yeah, I just saw him put a post up a day or two, and I don't know what it was, a movie or just a devil type deal that he was putting up. I can't remember, but it looked awesome.
He makes Brent's stuff is so good. I put his Mad Monster Party over here. His stuff is fucking great. And there's other stuff on the wall. I love the shit that he makes. I don't know, man. It's pretty fucking unbelievable. I'll be honest with you.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Well, JP's asking me about my beer.
Oh, talk about your beer while I take a piss.
And JP saying, what does he say? That's a good beer, Max. I wish I still drank. Let's send Danny G or Danny a Jesus from FTC. No, I don't think that'll happen, JP.
Yeah. Well, here it is. Here recently, just what was it? The other day I went over to the Polish deli. As some of you may not know, I come from Polish descent, Polish and German. And my in-laws are, they're Slovak. So we're doing a kind of a Polish feast for Father's Day this weekend. So we got a little bit of so what we're drinking tonight is just had to crank into it. So I bought a 12-pack of Zivich, and it's made in Poland, and I guess I'll be taking an 11-pack tomorrow. But yeah, here you go.
JP, drink up.
Yeah.
Do you go as far, Max, with your Polish heritage as in having a small cold vodka before dinner?
I don't. And the thing is that it's kind of funny because I'm growing up in Milwaukee. I mean, there's a lot of Polish, a lot of German, a lot of Slovak, and most of my family, is identified mostly with the German thing.
Okay.
My dad's dad used to talk about, us being Polacks, and I was like, what? Yeah, it's, we're, if you go into it, it's really Polish, German occupied Poland and that kind of thing, right? And
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's and they never spoke Polish in the house. I mean, if there was a language other than English that was spoken in our home, it was the German, and it was always, the older folks. My parents spoke a little bit, enough to like kind of understand, but they didn't really. It didn't carry on through. And but usually when the older folks were talking Polish, it was because the kids were there are German. It was because the kids were there and the adults were talking about stuff they didn't want us to understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's usually how that works. But I think the most of the heritage is, for either German, Polish, Slovak, Eastern European or whatever, came through the food and the music, and so we grew up a lot of the polka music, a lot of the German music, and all of the food, the whole, all the German heavy, and German and Polish is really not that much different, really. And,
no.
I can still remember like my dad's mom, cooking like just big buckets of food, and it's like, and it was like, she'd be smoking and having a beer and cooking, and it was always, if you ever left any of our family's stuff hungry, it was your own damn fault, because it wasn't like there wasn't enough food there. It was always how that was. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's funny how Europeans do that, don't they? They definitely bring food and family as one. It's a big together type deal, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean when we went over like for Christmas or anything that we were there for, there was always plenty of food, always. Whether it was the the big cooked beef, and I could still remember like my, you know, with my dad's parents, you know, when neither one of my dad's parents drove a car ever, you know, and you know, in Milwaukee, it was always, you know, there was the German neighborhood, the Polish neighborhood, the Jewish neighborhood, the Hispanic neighborhood, whatever neighborhood, you know, the black neighborhood. And, you know, but when there was a neighborhood,
you know what? You're fucking racist. Where's the Italian neighborhood?
we didn't have Italians in Milwaukee. We imported them later.
Italians in Milwaukee.
Yeah, we imported we imported them later. You know, but it was just, you know, Milwaukee was settled by, you know, a lot of Germans and Polacks and Norwegians. You know, that's just what it was. You know, most of Wisconsin. I mean,
did they get all the way? How the fuck did they get all the way to Wisconsin?
You know, that's where the
New Jersey. They have to pay a tax on everything. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, all up and down the east, you know, eastern seaboard. There's people that have the same last name as my real name. But
you mean Fugenstager?
That's right.
Max von Fugenstager.
Fugenstagers, you know, the famous Fugenstagers from Long Island. You probably know them. Long Island, you know.
No, it's not Long Island. It's lawn, like grass, Long Island. Long Island. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Long Island. And I'm like, oh,
Long Island.
Kill myself.
Yeah, that's like, you know, I grew up in Milwaukee, and it's, you know, Milwaukee, and that L kind of just disappears. It becomes Milwaukee.
Yeah, I gotta. You know, it's funny. Like now,
Wisconsin.
I can hear myself. I get a Jersey accent here and there. I'm not from here. I just lived here most of my life, and I gotta be honest with you, I fucking even this. I fucking hate it. I use the F word because that's common here. As who said? Max said it today. He said it's word decorations. I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
Sentence decorations.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Sentence decorations. Yeah. You know, but yeah. So, I mean, there really isn't a huge Italian. I mean, there is. I mean, now Milwaukee has. I mean, yeah, and Milwaukee has. It's a city of festivals. I mean, there's every ethnic festival that there is. I mean, we have Festa Italiana, we have Mexican Fest, we have Polish Fest, German Fest, Irish Fest. And Danny, while you're on here, we have like one of, if not the world's largest outdoor music festival called Summerfest, right on the Milwaukee lakefront. And we have, I mean, I don't know if you ever heard of Summerfest, but it's huge. It's I have heard festival. And you know, bands from all over the country, all over the world come here. And I mean, we have we have a African American Fest. We have the Native Americans have the Indian Summer. I mean, it's like all at this. So there's so many different festivals. We used to have a Cajun festival. We had, you know, all kinds of stuff. Greek Fest. You know, it's just amazing. You know, that's the one thing about Milwaukee is if you're ever bored in Milwaukee, it's your own friggin' fault. You know, it's because you just lock yourself in a hole. You know, especially in the summertime, because every weekend down at that festival grounds of Meyer Park, right on the lake, there's a festival, and it's awesome. I mean, I don't have to be Irish to enjoy, you know, Irish Fest. I don't have to be Italian to enjoy Festa. You know, I don't have to be gay to enjoy the Pride Fest. I mean, it's just how it is.
Yeah,
and it's a lot
Anybody
of
can
fun.
enjoy the fest. Is what you make of it.
I mean, and you know, and then there's another cool thing that we have. It's always I think it's the weekend before Thanksgiving. It's the international. It's another international folk fest, and they'll have dancing and music and you know, stuff from all different kind of cultures, and there's the food, and it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what the food alone would just bring me to those festivals.
The food, if the food and the music. I mean, those are the two things for me. I mean, it's, and there's a. I'm trying to think of who it was that quoted. If you want to learn something about someone, just follow their food and their music. Actually, I think it was the actual quote is learn their music and you'll learn about the people.
Hold on, I have to put this up. Can you? So let me see if I can. Did you see this from JP?
JP's going crazy with the texts.
He's all over this shit tonight.
Yeah, hey JP, what's going on? Hey brother,
JP, we're not ignoring you, JP.
How come the Germans grab the torches and pitchforks? Why the hell is it always Germans? Isn't that stereotyping when in a Frankenstein movie? That's fantastic.
Because I guess because it happens in Germany, I guess that would be probably my first thought. Always grab the torches and pitchforks.
Yeah. Wait, while you're thinking about that, I'm just going to show this real quick. This is a Madelman figure. These are like from Spain, and it's basically a miniature G.I. Joe. But this is like actually J.S. Starbuck sent this to me.
All right.
He knows like the shit. But if you take a look, so he's kind of this like
bring it up on the big screen. Bring it up on the big one.
I just want to settle JP's nerves. Yes, JP, I will save you from the Crocs if you came here. That's it.
Fantastic. I'll show this real quick, then we go back to the other stuff because I want to go off, but see if I can show it. So he's kind of this African dude. You can see he's got his really cool curved sword there.
Hat. Yeah.
With a fez hat, because he's kind of a takeoff from the Marx figure. But right there, that's what I like. He comes with a little monkey.
Oh, that
nice.
Yeah.
He's got a little monkey. And I don't know. And the one that I really want that I can't find, I've seen it, but I've never seen it. I guess it's this Canadian Mountie. You see the shepherd?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I can't find it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's the only other thing that I have that I got two of these, and Hurley got them too. There was this guy in the Philippines has been selling them on eBay like two at a time. It's that Tarzan figure with the Superman Mego, molded head, and then he's got this blue chimp in the background. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. But if there's like something in, I'll get it. The only one that I'm not really like crazy about is the Action. I think it's the Action Jackson. I think it's like the hunter or the safari guy, and it comes with a little plastic crocodile. That plastic crocodile was available everywhere, but that little brown plastic crocodile used to go in the gumball machines or whatever. They sound like 5 cents for, and we used to go buy all those. Yeah, but that's to me. I've got that set, and actually I got the safari set. Just on the cord, just the package, with all the stuff. And I got that. As a matter of fact, I think that's one of the ones I think I set aside for Danny, and along with the spy. And I have no idea where it is, and I'm sure I'm going to find them together one of these days when I go through one of these jobs.
Because
I thought
it's funny you say, because that. To find that little croc or alligator for the Action Jackson, it's almost impossible to find that thing.
But when I was a kid, you could go buy it at they'd sell plastic animals at like some dollar store, and I had tons of those. I didn't even get it from the Action Jackson outfit. I mean, that's Mego.
I just wish they made it.
What's that?
I just wish they made it a little bit bigger because it's really, really tiny. It's like a little lizard.
Because it's made for like HO scale trains. Mego just somehow stuffed it in there.
He's definitely not to scale. Like, he's certainly not scary. It's like, a miniature alligator. But
it's like a little lizard.
Somewhere in here, I've got that whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's so hard to find. It's like even.
Let's see if I have that somewhere.
I think there was a time I was just buying those sort of toy lots in the hope that I could just find one.
Yeah. I know I have one, and one of these days I'm going to find it. I promise you. Unless I send it somewhere, it's like you remember one night I was showing you we were going through my clubs.
That's the British one, right? And there he is, right there. The alligator's. I mean, look at this. Here's my finger. Yep. Look at the size of it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like, it's like he's the safari hunter. Okay, that's a baby fucking crocodile or an alligator. I mean, like you can just pick
It's a
it up off
lizard.
the ground. It's like picking up a penny off the ground. It's a tiny little thing.
It's
There's no
kicking
danger.
the ass, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, grab my tail, it's done. I mean, it's a lizard basically, is what we have. It's a
Yeah.
lizard, but
Yeah, he's certainly not too scary, you know.
No, it's not. JP's just saying, I love you guys. I don't have any other old farts to hang out with.
what do you mean? That's what we're here for. I mean, this is so
Here to
JP.
hear the old
We were
parts.
just sitting here bullshitting tonight. I said,
Yeah,
"You
I
guys
think
want to go and
JP.
talk on video?" And then we said,
It's
"Fuck
just
it, let's
old
go
guys
live."
talking shit.
Yeah.
It's just old guys talking
Literally,
shit.
you
That's
weren't
it.
even going to do it. But it's no lounge act here. And I think, we were saying something the other day. I think it was Max I was talking to the other day about it, or maybe all of us. I don't remember at this point. I'm so fucking tired. But I thought it was interesting. Like somebody was saying, hey, when certain other people do like a talk, why, like what's the difference between what we do in there? And I think with other people, it's very predictable what they're going to do. There's going to be these typical trip ups and so on. And here we just talk about whatever. But as much as I probably shouldn't say this, I don't think some of them like each other very much. And I think everybody here, loves hanging out with each other, and we love talking together. But there, I kind of feel it's like forced, and everybody's trying to get their kind of their side of things. To, hey man, move over, let me say something, kind of thing. And I think that's what makes the difference, because we're literally, honestly, I'm talking to you guys. I know there's people like that are watching and writing, and I'm not ignoring them at all. But I'm not sitting there like, oh, what if I say this? We're just fucking letting it flow, man. That's it. There's no like agenda here. Like you need to buy more of these, or you need to do that.
Well, I'm glad JP's hanging out at some ungodly hour of the morning over there for you guys.
Yeah, I know. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon for Danny Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Are you working, Dan, or no? You're not working, are you?
Nah, Saturday, no.
What, do you work? Do you work any times on the weekends or no?
No.
Okay, all right. For some reason, I thought you worked Saturdays or Sundays sometimes.
Oh, I did a while ago with when COVID was in full swing. I did some Saturday stuff, but not anymore. Okay.
Yeah, dude, we're here. My business 7 days a week nonstop. Not because I want to work 7 days a week, but the amount of work that comes in. If I don't work 7 days a week, we can't catch up. I mean, it's really tough trying to balance that with my daughter. I mean, thank God I have this great business partner that helps me. So if I need to run to a customer, I'm late. I only live 10 minutes from my office. She can help me get Amanda and stuff together, because it'd be tough, man. I literally gave up a client today. Not gave up the client, but I gave up the day because I forgot Amanda had a prom. They scheduled me. I'm like, you can't schedule me. I'm like, I'm not going to have her miss her stuff for babysitting at a client on a Friday. It's a good thing I stayed here anyway. It's just nuts today. My stepson had, so my wife's family's here. Four of them came, and then my stepson, I didn't know, he invited like half his class over. So I go outside and like there's 1 million people swimming in the pool. I don't think the pool's seen that much activity since the guy fucking probably first built it. And I'm like, what are these people doing here? And it's funny, like, they didn't like destroy the place or anything, but you're around the pool, you're having fun, whatever. And then I actually woke up this morning. So they go out and they like clean everything. I woke up this morning. My mother's downstairs, like doing dishes. I go, what are you doing? She's like, I'm doing dishes. Like, no, I got you. No. Women do the dishes. They're very old fashioned. Women do the dishes. Men don't do that. I'm like, well, maybe you should tell my wife that, because no, my wife, she's very good.
Once you come to America, that shit's over.
I know. No, she's good. I mean, she's still traditional and everything, but I'm like, listen, I'm not somebody to sit by. So if I'm going to do dishes, I'm doing them. I'm not going to wait for you to do them. Laundry, whatever. We share everything. But it was a little funny. She's like, no. I'm like, you just flew here from Spain. You slept like 6 hours.
Dishes, yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be exhausted. No. And then I go down, I walk out of the kitchen. I came back like an hour later, and what I thought was organized, she reorganized, and it was better than before. And I'm like, you know what? You can come as much as you want. The kitchen's like that. Then she's making food. She's got 7 o'clock in the morning. She's prepping food for lunch and dinner. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is fantastic. Because my wife and I both work, so we don't get started. Sometimes my wife starts in the morning, but it's like a pressure cooker. We can throw everything in and off it goes.
Yeah.
I was I told, who was I telling today? Was it you, Max? or no, I said in the group today, I said, I was thinking about taking one of my new Migos outside, and see what it looks like under a pressure washer. See what kind of stand, see what happens. So
Or
maybe
the
we'll
fire
do that
pit.
tomorrow. Or the fire pit. I'm just curious to see, like, can the plastic? You think the plastic could withstand a pressure washer? I think it would. I think the original ones. I don't know with the new bodies, but I think the other ones.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because Dan Camillo, he wiped the new Green Arrow face because he wanted to white out the eyes, and the green wiped off.
What happened? Say that again.
Yeah,
so
the green.
the new Green Arrow figure, he wanted to white out the eyes like in the old style figures.
So how? Oh, he just paint over them, or he tried to clear?
I think he just wanted to wipe it and then put the white on. And as he was wiping, the green came off. The green paint came off of the of the mask of the arrow.
So I mean, in all honesty, like, everybody pretty much knows how I feel about that, and I'll say the same thing I said earlier, and I'll make this very clear, and this can go back to the ambassadors or whatever. Like, I don't hate Mego. I know people think like, oh, you hate Mego. I don't hate Mego. Matter of fact, I like the old stuff. I'm more vintage than anything, but my tastes in collecting have changed, and I'm more about knockoffs. I think some of them are more obscure to get. All those crazy Mexican figures that aren't worth shit and they're garbage. I like them because they're obscure. Actually, I have another Batman coming. So another Batman, like, that's what I need, right? And I don't hate Mego, but with the new stuff, for me, just the way things have, without saying too much, but the way things have progressed between starting with them in 2018 ambassadors, watching what's going on. Some people are a little this, some people are great. There's great people in there, but there's also people in there who have a narrative I feel to drive, and I'm just not having that. That's not for me. So that's what drives me crazy. So I don't hate them, but like, I think about things like when I say, like, if you're making a figure and you're painting it, and it's not like you say, well, we should test it in case somebody ever wants to white the eyes out, like, what's going to happen? Like, nobody's going to test for that. But I wonder, like, what are the real tests? Because I know Paul Clark has said that, well, we put them in a lab and we test them. I'm not quite sure I believe all that, unless it's like, what's the test? Will they stand up on two legs? You know what I mean? And not fall over? I mean, I don't know what the test is, because it sounds to me like when the outfits bled into the bodies, right? Like on the Kiss figures were very popular. The black bled right into the plastic. You couldn't get it out. Now, Dan, you're saying the paint wipes off. I mean, if Dan had used WD-40, I could see that because it eats everything. But Dan,
no, he just said it was I'm pretty sure he said it was a damp cloth.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Dan Camillo's no novice to this. He's been doing this a long time. So if that happens, the fact that, I watched Art open a figure and try and bend the arm, all you try to do is bend the arm and it snapped. The whole arm broke off. And that's the bandless body. So you're not restringing that, right? That's got that little, what I consider a very thin piece of plastic between them. I mean,
yeah, the hinge, yeah.
Right. I mean, if I was going to make a hinge like that, money wise, I guess I understand why they did what they do, but I would consider something different, like a very strong, like, they make plastics are pretty much as strong as metal, right? I mean, that's a fact. They have plastics that, can stop a bullet, believe it or not. Not that you're going to put that on an action figure, but they could have used a better plastic. It's just, it seems like it's very, very weak. And I know you're going to have people, oh no, it's just people are treating them poorly, and they're not meant for kids to play with.
Did his break at the shoulder or at the elbow?
It snapped off right at the shoulder.
Oh, right. Wow.
That's where the bandless things is. And for me, like, I understand that, but I also know that, there is a thing with Mego, and this is not something I'm making up. This things that were said to not only people that we know, but have been written at people we know, and so on. I've had some conversations with some people I was speaking to last week. I'm not going to put their names out because I don't know if they want them to be said, but, things like they were approached previously, and Marty said, like, we want to expand our base. What's the best way to do that? Do we, we want to, what can we do? And the person's like, well, you should focus on these because this is where the meat of your sales will be. And that's where people are focused. They like, but they also wanted to have kids. So how can you say, in one section, like, Mego doesn't want to sell the kids? I'm not saying they're selling the kids now, but they're clearly putting them in Target and Walmart. Okay, that's retail. You want people to see things, walk by, have a nice package. Hey, that's really cool. Mom, can I get that and buy it? Or a collector goes out and get it. Because why put them in a store and you just stick them online, right? Have a website that you could pay $100 for a year to Amazon and, have a website up, that kind of thing. So to me, it's like if you're saying that you want to go after kids, when these guys say, well, they're not made for kids. Well, whatever. And then I saw someone said, no, my nephews have been playing with them and they can't, they haven't broken them, whatever. And then there's other people like, how many people just said they basically took it out of the package, moved it, and it snapped?
Yeah.
Somebody did a demo with it, somebody did this with the figure, but it wasn't like, hey, let's split it apart. It was like, from what I saw, it was like, hey, look, you can bend them, see, and they don't break. Look, that kind of shit. It's like, dude, take that, pull it apart. Well, they're not made for that. Okay, well, if they're not made for that, they're made for collectors. That's fine. Then why are you saying you're trying to cater to kids? Because you can't cater to kids with something like that. I mean, you can, but it's gonna be junk. Parents are gonna get pissed. You know what I mean?
Well, not with the licenses either. So you either get a closer to children's licenses, or you have more.
I mean,
more adult.
That's an excellent point. I mean, are there any kids out there that are looking for the board queen?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
and that's
go ahead.
And I think that's why they don't, like at Walmart and Target here. I mean, they don't keep them in the toy department. They got them in the collectibles department.
Yeah, the
collectibles. That's right.
Yeah,
and they're marked at age whatever 17 or whatever. I mean, right. They're not. These are not.
Not
toys.
in the beginning, Max. I'm pretty sure if I pull those, I got a bunch over there. I don't think they were marked that way. I think like when they did Full House and stuff. I mean, did they really think like you and Danny were going to go out and collect those? I mean, there's people that would. Sure I mean, I was an idiot. I didn't buy those, but I bought some of the Charlie's Angels figures. I'm like, why am I buying these? I'm like, well, support this company. This is what we want. We want to bring them back so we can get some of the stuff we didn't have, or we can reinstate that or rekindle that fire from a kid and so on. And I know they said, well, this wasn't our decision. It was such and such, and we had to buy it to get it. Okay, I get it. You have to make concessions. No problem. But I think that there's certain parts in there where it's very contradictory. And I think that's part of the frustration a lot of people have, is that you've got guys in there, contradicting what was said before. And unfortunately, there's guys in there, and there's a very specific few or group. I don't want to make it like thousands, but specific few that go in there, and purposely shame people or try and shame people publicly so that they shut their mouths. So people, I call that gaining alliances, right? You get divorced, your ex-wife goes, tells all your friends, oh, he's a bastard, he's mean, he's whatever, because they want to gain alliances. They want to build an army against you, so they think you can't stand up. But you have people posting things in there that I think are honest, not even criticism. They're honest, they're critiques. Hey, this is what I saw. I don't really, I think it could be done a different way, and then like 50,000 people jump on their backs, treating them poorly. Well, what'd you expect? It's just a doll. It's funny. It was an action figure before. Now it's a doll, right? Because you want to shame someone. Okay, fair enough. Now it's a doll. Right, it's a doll. But I paid money for it, and I don't expect it to break when I take it out of the package and 30 seconds later move the arm and it breaks. And they can say, well, maybe such and such was too rough on it. I mean, come on. Seriously? Are you really going to say that? I mean, so my thing is, how are these being tested? Like, what's the test? Right? Is there really a quality control lab? I honestly don't feel that there is, but who the hell knows? Maybe the quality control.
Well, I mean, if you want to be truly honest, and there's been footage being sent directly from people from the factory of them putting those figures in package.
Yeah.
Now, even though they weren't, half an hour long snippets, those figures were put in the bubble. You saw them being glued down and then slid down a line and put in a box. So I don't know where I don't know where the testing would happen between them putting the bodies together, putting the clothes on, and then packaging.
Well, are they spot checking? Because people are showing the same hand on both sides, right? I mean, both sides.
Yeah.
Like 2 left hands or 2 right hands or whatever.
So I don't know. In the footage that I've seen, I haven't seen any checking. But
the only thing they could have done. I mean, you couldn't expect them to check know, to factory test every single one
No,
for
they
more.
can't. You're supposed to pull
No.
product every so often and check it, right?
Yeah,
And
you know, but
even
even the prototype. I mean, if when I took my green arrow and pulled that, you know, because I wanted to take the lime green off and try something different with it, you know, and I saw that waist, you know, that waist pin. I was like, holy crap, that's a break waiting to happen.
right.
You know, so you would think, I mean, there's certain things. Now, mine, when I first did the initial video that I did, when I took it right off the card, I tried to bend the elbow and I was having a hard time and I was afraid it was going to break.
Yeah, you said,
You know,
you were saying.
and I'm feeling, you know, I was kind of feeling through the clothing to try to see, well, was it turned some kind of way where I was trying to bend it against where the joint was or whatever. And I got one arm to bend, and then I finally got the other one to bend. And like I said, overall, it seemed to be okay. You know,
Right.
I finally got to, you know, had a lot of ratchety feel to it, but it, and like I said, overall, my initial impression was I was just,
Sorry about that, Max. Go ahead. Sorry, actually.
okay. My initial was, you know, I was kind of, you know, a little disappointed that it didn't have the green hands. I was, you know, the belt didn't look like the prototype did, but overall, it was an okay figure.
Right.
The size and everything, you know, like I said, and you know, so I'm going to give credit where it due. You know, I mean, if by itself, you know, not comparing it to anything else, was it okay? And once I pulled it apart and I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this is definitely an adult collectible. This is not a toy that you could give to a kid, you know, because I could tell you what, I could take one of my 50-year-old type ones and
They don't break.
and I could take it and slam it on the ground or slam it on the table. Bam! I take one of these, bam, that thing's busted in half. You know, so it's not sandbox toys. I mean, these are for like old farts like us who are gonna pose them up, set them up, if we even take them out of the box. And I'm gonna take them out of the box. So, you know, so for me, I'm gonna take it out of the box and, you know, I'm gonna pose it and put it on. I'll probably put it on a Kaiser stand and set it, and that's it. You know, and for that, it would be okay. You know,
Right.
You know, and you know, when I was first looking at the age thing, I thought maybe because small parts, you know, choking hazards and all that, you know, consumer liability nonsense, you know, that people have to worry about, you know. And maybe for smaller kids, they wouldn't have the dexterity to, you know, or whatever. But the simple fact is, yeah, these are not sandbox toys. I mean, these aren't built like Mego was in the 1970s when they were, you know, we took them and we pounded them together, you know, Hulk smash, you know, and all that.
Hulk smash.
You
That was
know,
my favorite Mego was the Hulk. Loved
right.
it.
I mean, you know, you took Hulk smash, you know, Batman, you know, and you know, as kids, you know, we'd bang them together. They're fighting, you know. I mean,
That's
and
true.
you wouldn't want to do that with these. I mean, and
I mean,
that's
you
fine.
didn't take your action figure and have one punch the other in the face or punch in the body.
Yep.
I mean, these
All
things
the
are
time. I mean,
and that waist pin that you're talking about, Max, like that's crazy. I'm going to tell you now, in my personal opinion, from what I saw, and maybe Sar was standing there with me, is that body that's on those figures now is not that body that they showed at Mego Meet 2019. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. Now, I'm not saying it was in my hand, because I wasn't that close, but it didn't even look like that. And, you know, there was this whole thing, and, you know, to be completely frank, there was this whole thing at one point where David Lee and Jason, those guys, were working on stuff. So David Lee bought the Action Jackson name when Mego lost it. At some point, he bought it. And when Mego came back and went to Action Jackson, they had to go get the license from David Lee. So the license that Marty Abrams had owned now belonged to David Lee. Now they had to go ask him for permission to use it. And David didn't say no. But I'll tell you this. I remember being at Mego Meet 2019, and somebody introduced Marty to David Lee. Marty goes, "Oh, so you're the guy I have to pay the money for my Action Jackson." And David goes, "Yep," and big smile. "Yep, that's me." I mean, David's no dummy, he was no
Sure
dummy.
am.
And to me, it was uncomfortable because there was none of this bullshit that we knew about going on with this. People getting kicked out because Ambassador was still new. They're still building an army, if you will. But they have to remember one thing, and I think this is important. I think it's what they forget. And by they, I mean those are actually working for the company, not the volunteers that are running around trying to help or cause problems, whatever it may be. But you need to take care of your consumers. You need to take care of your customers. You shame them, you push them out, you block them, you kick them. You're not going to be doing a very good job of sales, and eventually you'll run out. Because eventually people get tired of that shit. And yeah, you'll always have people who will, as I say, suck on the teat of Mego because they just do, and they always will.
Well, there's always going to be that fan that regardless is just going to love.
Yeah.
It's a super fan. Yeah. But I don't think that everybody.
There's always going to be that guy,
Right. And I think there's some real legitimate fans, and some of them don't even post, I know, or I'm sure. But I think there's some real legitimate fans. But I think also there's a certain certain persons or people in there that aren't doing it just because they love the toy. They're doing it because they're looking for personal gain to get into Mego or chain into Mego so that they can get something out of it. Like they're going to ride Mego's coattails to some incredible future, get out of their crappy dead-end job, pumping gas at the gas and sip, and Mego's going to save them. And I'm like, they're only going to do what's good for them in the end. There's nobody at Mego's going to be saving these guys from the miserable jobs. They're just like, hey, this is our thing. This is what we do. And what's really going to happen is that at some point they're just going to say, well, you're done. We don't need you anymore. We've already seen that happen with one or two people. And, like I said before, even the stuff where, we do our talks, everybody legitimately likes each other in our talking group and those even outside. But when other people do some of their talks, you can tell like some of them don't get along. They take jabs at each other publicly, and they're not jokes. They're jabs. You only want to go there because there's a free buffet. I mean, or for the buffet, I'm like, wow, like that. Like, if you're going to want people to come to your stuff, have a united front. Hey, we're all in agreement. Fake it if you have to. You don't put that shit out publicly. You shouldn't look like you're having disagreements internal. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's just really crazy. It's they should be trying to, work together. But the problem, I think, again, I know we've all talked about this quite a bit. This is not me coming up with this on my own. That there's just some very selfish people in there, and they're going to probably at some point step on somebody else's neck to get ahead. Right? It's like, oh, you fell down. Let me stop and help you up. So be like, oh, you fell down. I'm stepping over you. I'm off to the next thing. What's the next step I can go to? And I think that's what happens. And it's kind of sad because this group of collectors, there's always been people that don't get along in it. That's normal for a big group of people, but people are mostly tolerant, but they like to collect. There's a lot of sharing. I feel like that's changed a lot,
Yeah.
My 2 cents.
Yeah.
Counterpoint.
I agree.
Lou, you ignorant bastard.
Lou, you ignorant bastard.
Ignorant bastard. How dare you?
Yeah. And your mother's ugly too,
That's right. Your mother's ugly too. I mean, I don't know. That's what I think goes on. And to me, it makes me, and I said this before, and I would put a post to Mego like it. Some of it's a little sarcastic, but I'm going to say this. Our group is 100% open to anyone. I don't care if any of those guys that are religiously, running billboards that Sanchez and I are creating. What the hell was that on my phone? Are creating an army of people that, Google's like picking up, creating an army of people that are going against them. We're not. People make their own decisions. They don't give people enough credit. What do you think? These people are stupid and they can't make their own decision when they buy something, whether they like it or not? No, Sanchez and I have to. What's that?
So if we say, okay, Google, hey Siri.
Try again.
Hey Siri.
It fucking worked. It worked. I'm turning it off. No, but the thing with that is like, if they put their energy towards taking the stuff that people are saying, hey, this could be done better. And I'm not saying they can fix. They can't say, hey, look, we're just going to change all the bodies. No, we have to work on it. But take the energy and say, hey, thanks for the input. Thank you for the, they can even lie. Thank you for the input. We really appreciate it. When you're saying, you're a terrible person, we're blocking you because you're criticizing, it's Mego, man. This is what we do. And everything's an excuse. Figures are 8 inches. No, even the original is only 7 3/4. Well, they're made for everybody. No, they're not made for kids. It's like, you just see like, hey, look, it's not breaking. See, and I gave it to all my nieces and nephews and they play with them for days and they don't break. Bullshit. That's just a fucking flat out lie. And I'm sorry. I'm sure there's people they don't break for, but there's going to be people, there's certain people that they'll just anything to save face, and that to me, that I don't get. That's like, I don't know if that's like a Japanese thing, I think. So I don't know where they're getting that from. It's crazy.
It does lean towards a personal attack. And I don't know whether they feel that whether people are attacking their childhood, perhaps. I don't know. When it gets...
Yeah, but I think they think
it gets that personal.
We're going to take Mego out, and they're not going to want to produce anymore. And Mego doesn't give a
fuck. I think it's definitely gotten to a personal and deep level where they feel that it's on that real deep attacking level of them personally saying, well, criticizing something that you paid for and that you want to be happy with.
If you went if you went to a store, you went to Walmart or Target and you bought something, you bought something for $15. Like you bought a shirt or something for $15, and you went home, and when you put the shirt on, the sleeve fell off because the sewing was bad. Are you supposed to say, well, it's not made for kids, or well, it's only 7 3/4 inches, or what do you expect for $15? Like you would take it back to the store and say, hey, this sleeve fell off. Can I have a replacement or my money back? And their job is to take care of that. If they say no, you won't shop there anymore. Instead, you got, well, why would you want to do that? Just go buy another one. Okay, well, the first one didn't work out.
Yeah.
So why don't you send me one? You know what I mean? It's like, it's so crazy to me. I don't get it. I don't get people that subscribe to that because they're so desperate. Listen, I get people get fanatical. I'm not going to lie. When I first got on, I got sucked into that whole whirlwind with who and all of his bullshit and all that, and got sucked in. And I was told things like, Chris Galam's a terrible person. Look what he's doing. And I fell right into that. Now I don't talk to Chris, and Chris thinks I'm an asshole. Roger Gilpin's a bad person. Look at his group. We are Mego. I'm building the real We Are Mego, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I don't find anything wrong with Roger Gilpin. As a matter of fact, I get along with Roger Gilpin quite well. And I actually like his group, and I like what he's doing. I like that he's growing it. He does a great job. He doesn't, he's in our group as well. I like that. And other people too. And basically it's like anybody, I was literally getting phone calls to try and, I don't know what the right word is, to try and get me and other people to somehow, what's the right word, undermine these people that, don't want what's going on with Mego. And this is not from Mego Corporation. These are not Mego employees doing this. Let me say that. It's not Marty. It's not Joel. It's none of those guys. Those guys had nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, I don't even think they knew anything about it. It's these super zealots that believe like you have to give your life to Mego, or I don't know what they think is going to happen. The world's going to end. I don't know. I don't get it. To me, it's so like it's like it's so cultish. I don't want to say Charles Manson because nobody's killing anybody, but I watched the thing on Charles Manson a couple of weeks ago. They had a whole Netflix thing, and like the way he just sucked people in with his words. He got them so riled up into believing the bullshit that he was spewing, and it happens. You get excited, something's going on. Somebody goes, "Hey Dan, that guy Max, you don't know him, but he said a bad thing about Mego. Don't you love Mego, Dan?" Yeah, I love Mego. Well, if you love Mego, you should say something. And again, this is not the executives or the Mego employees saying this. This is not even Paul Clark saying this. None of that's going on. It's not everybody. There's just some zealots in there. And, oh, yeah, you know what? Come on. Don't you love Mego? Don't you love Mego? Yeah, well, then you're going to do it, right? Right. And then they go after Max. And he hasn't even done anything.
But I think that's where they take it personal, and somehow it affects their childhood memory that's what you're attacking.
I think,
or that's how they feel it's attacking, but it's not. It's it's a thing as an adult, you know, you pay money or you're enthusiastic about something. And let's face it, there's so many collectors out there that are super anal. And it doesn't matter what you produce, there's going to be something wrong, isn't there?
I mean, everybody's NECA has problems. McFarlane has problems. I mean, has there ever been anything produced that's perfect?
No,
I mean,
and the way collectors' minds are.
Not since I was born, anyway.
Yeah, that's it. But it's that attack mode of if there's some, it doesn't have to be even negative. It's just a somewhat observed criticism that it's genuine. I don't know. They just feel like it's this personal attack on their childhood, and it's not. It's just not. And that's where they just need to ease up and take a step back and go, well, okay, it's not that.
And aren't people entitled to have an opinion? Are we not allowed
exactly.
to have opinions? I mean, it's one thing if somebody went to the room and said, this is the biggest fucking piece of crap ever. You guys all suck. This is junk. Fuck you. Go to hell.
Yeah.
But I don't see anybody doing that.
Well, you know what? It's funny because, because, well, this is an analogy that, Lou and I would understand. I don't know if Dan would, but, we're Mustang guys, right? Well, Dan, I mean, Lou's, all kinds of different cars, but, Mustang comes out with this new SUV looking thing, or Ford comes out with this new SUV looking thing. They slap a Mustang logo on it and call it a Mustang. Now,
that's no Mustang.
Ford makes the Mustang. They can call whatever that piece of shit they want. They can call it the Mustang, right?
True.
But in the Mustang forums, nobody liked that iMach. I mean, and we look at it, we say, okay, it's a cool looking car, but it's not a Mustang. A Mustang is a two-door coupe. It's not an SUV, And the Mustang people were banging. It's not that they're not pro Ford or pro Mustang, but they're trying to let Ford know, hey, you messed up.
Yeah, this is not the original that I know, is it? They're saying this is not the original that I know. You're doing a pseudo version of what I remember as the classic.
Yeah, you're slapping the label.
You have slapped the entire heritage and everybody who bought into the Mustang heritage right in the face, And if I say I don't like the iMach, but I've got two Mustangs, and and if money permitted, I would have 5 or 10 more, but I just don't like that one. That doesn't make me anti-Mustang or anti-anything. It just means you messed up.
And you could have the greatest product in the world. You could have the greatest product. But if it's not being purchased by consumers, it's not going anywhere. So the reality is we all use VHS for years in the past. But the Betamax tape was way better. The invention of the Betamax was way better than the VHS. Microsoft goes over Apple and succeeds much bigger. But I mean, this is what I do for a living. The Apple, as much as I hate to say this because I use Microsoft operating systems, the Apple operating system is far superior to the Microsoft operating system for many reasons. One, it's built on Unix, and they just put a face on it. Windows is its own disaster. But people complain. You don't see Microsoft kicking people out of their forums or telling people, you can't say that. What else? I mean, they're they listen and say, okay, well, we can't do that now because we're not ready, or that's something we can look into. You know what I mean? And I think that once they understand how a business really runs, like I run a business and it's not perfect, but my business has been 21 years of word of mouth. There's not one salesperson in my business. And I'm not saying that to look how great we are. I'm saying it's a matter of taking care of people. Listen, you can't please everybody all the time, but you can listen. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to take the time to listen. And I don't know what Marty does, and I don't know what Joel does because I don't talk to them. I only know what I see. And if you're letting people do things for your company and representing you, then they should be putting their best foot forward. And I don't think blocking people and stuff is your best foot forward. I think that's kind of I mean, that's my opinion. And listen, we're gonna get bashed for this because it goes back to them. And I actually like the fact that this stuff goes back to them because maybe one day they'll start to listen. And what I really love, as I posted the other day, is I love knowing that people that are in there saying all these things that aren't really true towards this direction are watching our videos. I love that. I love that they're watching our videos. That just makes me thrilled because that means there's something that they think that we're doing right that they need to know. Right? Or others say, oh, those guys are just a bunch of fuck ups. They'll just fizzle out. Well, if you're clearly watching the videos, there's something that you may think is going to happen. I don't know what it is. I have no idea because nobody's here to take down Migo. I mean, I think that's kind of the thing. I think people think like, oh, you're a Migo like, so you want to take down Migo. No, not all. There's a ton of people who are ambassadors that are Migo like. And we don't shame them for being in here. They can stay. That's so funny. Yeah. He's like the cat's photobomb. You know, we want them to come in. Listen, those guys are welcome to come in anytime they want. Out. They're not going to get, unless they're completely animalistic, but they're not going to do anything. They're not going to be able to do anything that's going to change anybody's mind. The only way you're going to do that is if you listen. And it's better to be a listener than a talker. And on that side, they're not listening. Some of them aren't listening. I can't say everybody. They're just want to say, well, here's how it is. Deal with it. And you're going to get a lot of people who are going to say, no. Why are you to tell me how I run my life? Do you pay my bills? Are you my mother or father? No. And they're basically say, well, look, I'm an independent adult and I'm going to make my own decision. I think that's where they fail to realize, again, not the Migo employees, but the people that maybe be acting or think they're acting on behalf of them. I think they think they're doing the right thing and they're not. And I think if they were really to look at things from a third party point of view, they would see that that's not right. They really
And I think at the other time, the other side of it is like in, my case in particular, I mean, I'm a Batman collector. I'm not an action figure collector.
Right.
So you want to tell me that, you want to push me off away from buying your, action figures of, whether it's Migo or, Spin Master or whoever, I mean, if you're doing so well, you don't need my money. That's fine.
That's fine.
You're not competing, you're competing with, it's not a matter of whether I have your figures, I don't have anything, because you're competing against Spin Master, McFarlane, all the all the vintage stuff. Yeah. You're, glassware, plates, comic books, I mean, all of that. I mean, so, if you don't want my $20 for your figure, that's fine.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'll spend that $20 on a vintage comic book. It's just that, so I that's where I don't think that some of the, the bashing or the excluding thing by people who don't even belong to the company are not doing the company any favors. You know what I mean?
No, and it's surprising that, to me, here's my only thing to say is that if you're in that company and you're watching these things happen, if you support that, good luck staying in business.
Because right now, it's like, in my personal situation, I mean, because I can give two shits, and I've probably said this earlier, I give two shits about Star Trek or Planet of the Apes. Or killer clowns from outer space, or any of that nonsense. I mean, I might buy a couple of Universal monsters because but I'm DC. I'm superheroes. And I mean, not that I have anything against Marvel, but I mean, I collect Batman, right? So we're 15 waves in. There's no, there's no Batwoman, no Batgirl, no Catwoman.
How many different Captain Kirks and Frankensteins and Spocks were there?
Yeah, I mean, I could.
You want to save money, you want to retool, but
yeah, I'm waiting for the the pink booby cancer, Captain Kirk, shirt or whatever, that's cool. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you keep doing that. And you know what? I can go to McFarlane, I can go to Spin Master, I can go wherever I want. And if you don't want my money, that's cool, because my money is just as good as anybody else's. But if you don't want it, that's fine.
100% correct. 100%.
So, and that's kind of where I am. And I haven't said a damn thing bad about Migo. I've said what I would have liked to seen done differently. And I don't think that the figures, if it was me, I wouldn't. They should have never gone away from the Type 1, Type 2 bodies, and just, people aren't open that shit anyway. Just why mess around with reinventing the wheel and just pissing people off? That's really what they've done.
Listen, if people go there because they want vintage, I'm not saying everybody wants a Type 1 or a Type 2 body or anything like that. And I understand trying to make improvements, but you want to be exciting, but you have a base that's fell in love with that. It's like, hey, everybody, we made chocolate ice cream. Everybody loved it. You know what? Now we're going to make pistachio. But we love chocolate. Okay, well, try your pistachio. I'm not really a big fan. Oh, you're not a big fan? Get the fuck out. I mean, that's basically what you're doing. And they're not even not even employees there. And that's what's crazy. And listen, there's a million excuses. And, the thing, God, as long as we're being honest, we have our honesty hats on. The thing that cracks me up, I think more than anything else is, and I know everybody's going to think they know who it is, but I'm not referring to this person. What I think is, you have people in there saying, well, we're nice and we don't talk about people, and that's okay. That's fine. And then they go around and they bash them, or they get sarcastic to them, or they doll shame them, or whatever they want to call it. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, you just sat there and said how you're going to talk about toys only and you're going to be nice to people, and that you've changed so you don't do those bad things anymore. And then 2 seconds later, you're bashing people. Like, listen, a man is only as good as his word. That's what I always taught. So if you don't do what you say you're going to do, guess what your credibility does? And it's very hard to get back, to get people to trust you after that. So if you're saying you're not doing it, then don't do it. Otherwise, don't get upset when people say you're a hypocrite, or you're full of shit. And that's kind of like that's the crazy part. But in any case, I don't know. I think overall, what they were trying to do was put action figures to market. And I think a lot of people want that. And I think that's good. I just think there's a better way they could have done it. And yeah, everything's hindsight 2020. But if I was them, I would be listening to people. I wouldn't be trying to tell them what to buy. I would be saying, hey, here's what we have to offer, and listen to them so we could give them things they want. Why are you making things that you want? I mean, I think they're basically saying like, well, we're not going to make those figures. We're going to make these figures. These were suggested by other people here. But I feel like I feel like there's that group of people that are zealots that are pushing their favorites. How's that? They're pushing their favorites instead of defining what's good for market. Like right now, is anybody going to buy Newzoo review figures? No, because the only people who know who it is right now are probably me and you, Max, and maybe JP, right? Nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows who they are.
JP's off to work right now, so,
Right, JP's off to work. But if somebody said, hey, we're going to do, I don't know. I can't even think of anything right now. I fucking no idea. Star Trek Next Generation. I don't know. We're going to do original Universal monsters, in this format. You probably have more people go to that. But say, we don't want monsters. We want DC superheroes.
Well, I mean, and on the flip side of it, I mean, okay, Danny's a musician, right? Okay, somebody says, hey, Danny, you're a rock guy, but we really wanted you to play disco music, and on the artistic side, I can understand where, this is kind of where I want to go, but you also have to understand that not everybody might not want to go with you,
Right.
And you might want to see Dan's, Danny G's cat's butt right there, right? But
Vittles, the one-eyed wonder cat. What's up, Vittles? Well, Max, I did post something in Migo for you. It's Benny Hill related. Yeah.
Oh, Benny Hill is awesome.
With Batman in it.
But and to that extent, I can understand is that, but that's something more, more focused on the artistic side of it. I mean, it's like say, I'm a rock performer. I'm not going to do disco. I may not do
my
country.
specialty. This is what I'm good at.
This is what we do, and for Mego, it was like, what is it that made you famous? What was a big attraction? And they're not doing any of the stuff that made them popular in the 70s.
But I think they could do so much more, and
they could do those.
Yeah, and
but
I think
it's
that's
just kind of like,
it's like take 2 here, take 3 there. I think that's part of the frustration is that everybody knows that there's a potential to do something better or to do the things that they want that they didn't get. FTC does it all the time, don't they? I mean, FTC has put out, I think, pretty much every variation of every Batman, 66 TV show ever. I don't know if they missed any.
No, and what they did with with the Batman 66 series stuff, I mean, they did all the villains, all the characters. I mean, they did they did Alfred, they did Commissioner Gordon, they did Chief O'Hara, they did all the villains, some of them that weren't even, in my opinion, that memorable, right? Or that popular, like Shame, I mean, of course, Egghead because it was Vincent Price, but the King Tut, they did, all of those things, but they released them all at one time. So it's like the whole collect them all thing,
There you go. Fill the holes.
Yeah, just whack them out, and then then later on they did some other
the old ones. I mean, I give them credit when they put out like Romulan. Okay, I'll give you credit because you were talking about trying to find a loose Romulan was like finding a needle in a haystack. If you were on the card, it was $1,500 easily, and off the card it was $800. So what did they do in New Mego? They made one that's $15. To me, that's a worthy substitute. I don't care because I'm not looking to get that really expensive one. But at the same time, I would say that then they start making, how many Frankensteins do we get? You know what I mean? Like, how many were there? It was crazy.
Well, there's 3, isn't there? There's two major ones, and then there's the son of Frankenstein.
I think there was at least 4, right? The one without the shirt, the one with the chains, the glow in the dark, the regular one. I mean,
and then there was the young Frankenstein or whatever it was, or the son of Frankenstein or whatever. There's that one as well.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
they've made a lot.
And if it was popular, if one was popular, I could see doing a variation. That makes perfect sense to me.
Right.
But what I never understood is like with Batman, we're 15, but say look at the Star Trek guys. I mean, I remember when I was in Ambassadors, I mean, it was like a couple of people were always going, where's Scotty and where's Bones forever.
Yeah.
If you're a Star Trek, the first, the original series, you want that whole bridge. You want everybody.
Yeah, that's it.
You want Kirk, Spock, Chekhov, Bones, Scotty.
But did you see what the responses were towards that? Like some of the things were like, well, nobody wants that figure.
Nobody wants it except for everybody.
And that's the thing. Those guys that
except for everybody who's a fan of that show.
Right. They're doing their favorites, not what everybody wants. There's a difference between what fans want and what the person sitting in the chair wants.
So here's the thing, when you're and if it's from the artistic, and that's where I was going with that, is that, like, say, for example, I mean, if you're a rock musician, you're not catering to that. If you're a rock musician, you're going to play rock music. You're not.
Almost Danny Gates will play polka. He'll play polka music.
Danny could do a polka. Well, Danny could do anything. I mean, but but you have to understand that if you're not looking for that audience, then don't expect them to be there.
True.
But if you're going to do Star Trek, if you're a Star Trek fan, a Star Trek builder, do Star Trek, do all of them.
I agree. Do them.
And and then
you'll not only get Mego collectors, you'll get Star Trek collectors.
Right,
that's
and then that's your next generation, and and all of those other Wrath of Khan. I mean that. And the other thing I never understood is like when they have something that's popular that sells out. Why not make more?
So that's a funny thing. So there's a funny it's an interesting anecdote, if you will. So they did a convention, or I guess it was a convention someplace, and there was an actress, one of the actors, I can't remember the name of her name. She played the salt vampire.
Oh yeah, I remember that story.
Right. And so they brought a bunch of salt vampires to the table, and she came over. Was she 80 years old now or something? She came over and bought all of them, took them back to her table, and sold them for double. And but here's the thing: if you're going to have somebody there who you have an action figure of, why would you not have more, right? Like, or hey, we have all these action figures of you, let's keep some at your table so you guys can sign some, you know what I mean? And you'll be doing everybody a favor, you'll help everybody out. But to me, that's just crazy. And I don't know if this was said exactly, but my understanding is the person that was in charge said, why didn't we bring more of these? Why didn't we look into this? It's kind of like this craziness, where they're just, it's I don't think it's well prepared. And
well, with the salt vampire lady, I mean, it's like how popular. I mean, I'm not a Star Trek guy, I mean, so how popular was that episode? Or
I mean, I love Star Trek. I'm not a super fan. I don't know everybody in it, but I
do you remember the salt vampire? I
do. I remember, because I remember she was like this lady that was like Bones's old flame back in the day and all this stuff. Yeah, I do remember that. But I mean, it's like, I don't know who the actress was. I wouldn't know unless somebody told me, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and it's so yeah. That I mean, in their defense, I guess that would be hard to figure, because it's like, how many people would remember that?
No. I mean, Max, these people are going to conferences. I think it was a Star Trek conference.
Yeah,
or maybe some kind of conference. I can't say that because I could be wrong. But
Trekkies are a whole different breed of people.
Right. I mean, like, I go to Chiller Theater. I went to Chiller Theater, right, which is something they'd have in New Jersey, and they'd bring in, older actors and some B movies and stuff and go in. So you look down the list, you say, oh, Linda Blair's going to be there. Do I have anything Linda Blair that I want her to sign? I look, Sid Haig was there, and Bill Moseley that did House of a Thousand Corpses, one of my favorite movies. I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab my DVD and bring it with me and have them sign it. It's that kind of preparation. Like, it doesn't take long to look at the list of who's there. I just think that there's a lack of probably understanding how to go to market with stuff. And again, listen, it's easy for me to sit here because it's not my money and I'm not piping into, their stuff and so on. But I think, like, at some point, I feel like you should learn, you know what I mean? You should learn this stuff, and you should understand, like, what it is you're really trying to accomplish. And I wonder if it's just more like, I don't know, are they winging it? Maybe.
Well, I mean, and in a situation like that too, is like, if they brought 100 of them, they would, they were going to be happy if they sold 100 of them, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You sold 100.
Absolutely. I agree.
Well, listen, fellas,
it's getting late. 3 hours and 17 minutes. It's 3:15 in the morning, and I think it's midnight for Danny Gates. Nah. Let's go get some rest.
It's about tea time.
There's still 2 people apparently watching. So whoever's watching, really? You guys are some crazy motherfuckers. I see 2 people up here.
You really? I mean, I see that that JP finally bolted to work.
Yeah, he finally had to go to work. I don't know how he stayed up so late.
Unless he's a buddy champion.
Is there somebody still on the? Let me take a quick peek. Somebody on the Facebook feed?
Is it Tony Pauly had come in, Roger Gilpin had come in, a couple of people, and I got late to them, so I don't know, because I feel
bad that we might have not intentionally ignored comments. I hope we didn't annoy anyone.
Yeah, we weren't trying to ignore. We literally, it's trying to watch this app. If you're in Facebook and you're not posting, if your name doesn't show up, use that link. Then it doesn't show up in here, and we're only seeing the other ones. So hopefully.
Oh, okay.
We apologize. It'll be Amigo like, so people can check it out and enjoy it again if they want, and pass it off to whoever they want to send to another group.
Yeah, I'm seeing that Roger Gilpin is still there. Is Roger still there?
Gilpin's still on? No shit.
Roger, you crazy ass bastard.
He's a trooper. Yeah, he's a trooper. Right
okay, a little while ago, Tony Schwally asked if we could see his comments.
Yeah, Tony was on. But again, we didn't plan this. We just jumped on and we're talking, and then just hit the live button, and off we went.
Yeah, this was just going to be a bunch of old farts sitting around.
This was
shooting
old
the
fart
breeze.
sitting around night.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Martin said turn the switch on, and we did, and then he bailed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Roger's still there with us. I got
Thank you, Roger.
my phone here, and I don't know who else is on the Facebook. Oh, Rich Hurley is watching.
Rich.
Hurley.
Rich. He's probably knee deep in some donuts and coffee right now.
Hurley is watching. He was just in here.
I don't know if you can see it, but
what the fuck is her? Why? I don't know why he's watching. He's not here.
It says Rich Hurley is watching.
It's like I don't know. It's like you can be in the show, and he's got. Well, actually, he might like it. He's got.
You know what Rich is doing?
He ran out of shit to say. Maybe he ran out of shit to say.
No, Rich is probably going. You fuckers are still on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, an hour ago.
Why don't you guys get a fucking life? Go to bed.
Yeah, an hour ago, Samila posted a message. You guys are still fucking talking. I'm like, yeah.
No, but I gotta go. I gotta get me some sleep. We're driving. I got 2.5 hour drive to get in back into Milwaukee area tomorrow, and we're gonna do the Father's Day kind of thing tomorrow with wife's family. And
I forgot about Father's Day. Holy shit!
Yeah, she wants to get there before noon, so I probably got to get up by 8. So
that's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I don't know whether David Gunn was watching or not.
Yeah, let's end out our live and say goodnight to everyone. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We had everything from toys to cops to drinking and while not driving and laws and everything. It's been around the world. I think we have a little bit of Doritos in there too. A little bit of Doritos.
Yeah, some Doritos and I forgot to mention all the beers I was drinking tonight. So
Max was killing it tonight.
Yeah.
Smash and bruise.
I think Randall Wall watched. Is this a different one? No, that was a different one. I'm sorry, it was a different one. Okay,
yeah.
Different one. All right, well, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's end this and go to bed. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Leave your comments. Let us know what you think. The best comment.
And we got to do a vinyl night. We got to do one of these where we just
we have to do a vinyl night.
Yes. We keep talking about it.
Tomorrow night, as far as I'm concerned. Just get your records out. But let me say this:
keep talking about it.
Whoever puts the best comment gets 500 pounds of gold from Danny Gates, hand delivered from Australia. So put your
some
comments.
Bullion. I'll get you some Ballarat bullion. How about that?
Pirate bounty.
Yeah, it's delivered by a koala.
By a koala in a kangaroo pouch.
With a shotgun.
On the back of an emu.
With a shotgun.
And with one of those giant spiders on it as well.
That's awesome. I want to win that tonight. Hey, good to see you guys. Always a pleasure.
Everybody. Thank you.
Hey, have a good one. And for Happy Father's Day to you guys. And we'll see you. We'll take care.
Happy Father's Day. Even if you don't know you're a father, happy Father's Day to you, because you might be a mystery father to some child out there that you don't even know about. So
you don't know about. Right on.
All right. Good night, guys.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.